Welcome to Meadowbrook Memories Podcast. I am Jelly, otherwise known as Glacier Prince, and my co-host is Hitchcock, otherwise known as Alfred Henry. Our mission on this podcast series is to explore the stories behind the magic that was created at Meadowbrook. When over a span of 4 years, between 1982 and 1986, we saw the transformation of a small co-educational school with less than 1,200 students, 800 boys, 800 girls and 400 boys into a successful sports and scholastic champion, winning 7 major trophies, 3 Sunlight Cup, 2 Topping Cup, 1 Walker Cup, and 1 Nutriment Shield. And to crown these achievements, Meadowbrook also produced 2 Rhodes Scholars, Cavell Creighton in 1987 and Andrea Wright in 1989, both graduates of Meadowbrook in 1983. In this podcast series, we'll be speaking to persons, both males and female, who are actively involved in this incredible journey, along with friends and staff at Meadowbrook, which inspired the environment which created this golden era. We hope you enjoy our discussion. Please give us as much support and encouragement as you can on whatever social media platform you are listening. Welcome and thanks for joining us. So, remember to like, share, and subscribe these Meadowbrook Memories podcasts so neither you nor your friends will miss another Meadowbrook conversation. Thanks. Go. Today is Saturday, November 11, 2023. And welcome back to another conversation about Meadowbrook Memories. Me as usual, Glacier, our Lance, our Prince, our Jelly, and by now you know say anyone of those names will do. Joining us as co-host today is Desmond Desiree, who I must personally thank for making today's conversation possible. And Desi was a guest on episode number 93, which is after the episode out this week. And you must go and listen to Desi, Meadowbrook Memories, in its own words. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe while listening. And links to Desi, Meadowbrook Memories, will be in the description page of this episode. Our guest today, we must give a proper introduction, because even though he have one of the most famous last name in Jamaica in the 1970s, I have no idea if he's related to that famous name, or if he ever had ambition to emulate the exploits of Jamaica's most renowned athlete in the 1970s. Our guest started in Meadowbrook in 1979 and left in 1984, and have a photographic memories of his days at Meadowbrook. He has special memories of Rory McGregor, who was his maths teacher, and he also remembers being the only student in sixth form at Meadowbrook doing further maths at A level. And I never know that possible. Our school motto has been an inspiration to him throughout his life. And when he introduces himself, you'll have to call out the Latin motto for us. Because by now, you know say Jelly only compatible with 2 languages, English and Patois. He remembers Rory giving him the nickname Atlas because he predicted that one day he'll take on the world. And actually, our guest did take on the world. He also remembers being praised by his literature teacher too much after he got the highest grade without attending a literature class. The Julie and the East Indian mango tree would have feel it when him and his friend them meet up and him way home a then from school. Anyway, without further ado, Meadowbrook Memories welcome the man with the most famous last name in Jamaica in 1970, Lindsay or Brian Quarrie. Introduce yourself, Mr. Quarrie.
Yes, thank you, Prince. I also remember you as Lance, I think. That's the name I think that stick. I'm just so happy to be here with you and Desi. And, we're older men now from our younger days. Show up, 10 years old or so, barely at Meadowbrook campus. And was trying to figure out where to go, and before it's kind of more like a, what do you call it, a chain reaction. You talk to one person, then another, and before you know it, you feel at home at Meadowbrook. So, but anyway, I just remember the classes, literally memory of the classrooms and the people, and just the atmosphere is really like fresh even today, because it had such an impression on me. And I remember sports and cricket, and one of my earliest memories was in PE. They said, look, man, Donald Quarrie, wait, you related to Donald Quarrie. Yeah, man. We run from one section from the road almost to the wall of the building, right? And it's a white wall, just the wall of the school building. I say, man, so everybody don't expect me like to be the fastest man, running across the field. So in PE, so I run. And say, run to touch the wall, I run, come back. So I mean, the first one touch the wall, right? Fast and get over there. But on the way back, I just say, look, man, go on. Go on. So we come in dead last.
So I take it, Lindsay, you're not related to that famous Donald Quarrie.
Yeah, man, but only for a certain distance. Because I was first,
I got you.
First or second in track and field, wherever I did, But the long range was kind of not my thing. So it was kind of a long range for me.
Yeah, man.
But for a sprint, I'm very fast.
Yeah, man.
And that was part of Sanders' house and stuff. I played a little bit of cricket, and I remember Daisy being a batsman in cricket a little bit, during cricket class. And, basically the campus was nice. You run around and you do things and you go from class to class, and you have geography teacher like, I don't remember her name, but it was just kind of short and stubby like. But she was so nice, a geography teacher. And, talk about learning the world, the geography of the world. And I mean, it was because I heard that I did advanced level geography, and, Rory McGregor with maths and, his inspiration of me. And, of course, I got Winston, physics teacher, very, very good.
Mr. Larson at Lindsay?
Winston Larson,
yeah. Mr. Larson, yeah. Say, we seen the come and ask about him, wanted to find him. Our road scholar, Andrea Wright, wanted to find Mr. Larson. I haven't been able to find him at all. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, God bless him memories. We come in and we come out, and that's why things like this in communication is important.
Yeah, but we'll get tonight. We'll get to all of that, Lindsay. Let me make Desi introduce himself, and then we'll start. Desi, reintroduce back yourself, my brother.
Thanks, Jelly. Desmond Gray, Desi Gray. And today I have a different role. Hopefully I don't let down Dante as the man I hold up the other end.
Best night watchman of the business. Give him title.
As the best watchman of the business.
Best night watchman.
I should have called him to make him tell me how I was supposed to hold up men, but I hope I don't let you down today.
We love that, Desi. Thank you. And by now, Lindsay, I don't know if you ever listen to none of these conversations, but the first question I ask anybody who come up on this conversation, did you choose Meadowbrook or Meadowbrook chose you?
Good question. To be honest with you, Meadowbrook kind of chose me in a way because, first of all, how dramatic it is with common entrance exam, in Jamaica. I don't think any other country experienced this kind of thing. But your name get published, right? In the newspaper. You tell people about that here in America, and they're like, what? Education is a very important thing to us. It was to my father, in memory, Maurice Quarrie was my dad, and also to my mom as well, Gertha Stella Smith. And so, they both kind of, and they weren't always necessarily there. 9 years old, I pretty much been on my own since I was 9 because, my mother was a nurse in Canada, and, my dad, he was always busy doing other stuff like most dads, but one of the things I know that, it's important. So when you talk about Meadowbrook choosing me or me choosing Meadowbrook, basically, when my mom left to Canada, we had a choice, could stay with a grandmother or we could, stay with my dad. And so basically that said, look, you're going to go to school at Meadowbrook, and so, basically, Meadowbrook took me in, and, in a way, Meadowbrook kind of chose me in a way because, when you read the motto, the Ita Splendid Lux Vestra, I've used that so many times. I can't tell you what I've done with that motto. I've built buildings and laboratories of high status, and before they close up certain equipment and machines that could be a time capsule. I said, everybody look, we're going to close up the system now. It's like a spaceship, right? Write whatever your thing is you want. Because we worked so long and hard on this, and now we're going to close it up. So what did I write in there? Ita splendere lux vestra. Okay? To this day, more than 20-something years ago, that writing is still in there, in that thing that I encapsulated.
So,
it's a massive thing.
So when you say Meadowbrook choose you, when you say Meadowbrook choose you, Lindsay, which school you used to go? And you never put down, what school you chose at the time? When you say Meadowbrook chose you?
I think, I can't remember how the selection process go, but I definitely did Meadowbrook because I think it was convenient and proximate to other places. I'm not sure if to be honest with you, I don't remember necessarily choosing anywhere else.
Okay. So where you used to live? What year I used to live?
Yeah, man, I used to live in, I think, Marvelly one time, Red Hills. I lived several places. Red Hills, Marvelly, like just at the Red Hills, Marvelly, Hugh and Den.
Yeah, I let them hear them because I'm still
Yeah. So, everything was pretty close. I remember just taking the bus. I used to walk a lot, by the way. So got this one pair of shoes, man. The back always break down. And I'm like, man, I hope this shoes last me, So they took the back. The shoes was too small for me. And I tell you, boy, I run my feet, but I walk and Meadowbrook
chose you then. So you never hear about Meadowbrook before.
Meadowbrook chose me.
So you heard about Meadowbrook before then, Lindsay? I never heard about Meadowbrook before.
I think no, man. I heard about Meadowbrook before then. We're just an all-around, good, location, and a couple of my friends live nearby. Like Maurice White. You ever get a hold of Maurice White? You know Maurice White?
Yeah, man. I see him all the while on Facebook and on the chat group. Yeah.
Really, I want to link with him. Maurice was one of my best friends at Meadowbrook, and we I think we kept in touch, afterwards through the years. Once in a while, one time we go to check him, and he is, I think he's in economic related stuff. I don't know if he works for the government or not. Prince.
I don't know. I don't know either, but I know I have him contact either on Facebook.
Yeah, man. Send me.
I went look for it and send it to you. Yeah, I know I have him contact. I mean, I'm a Facebook.
Yeah, man. Maurice was always a quiet person, and with a very thoughtful, friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Busy and so forth. So.
Yeah. So, have you ever been on the campus before, Lindsay? Before you start Meadowbrook?
To be honest with you, no, not once.
Okay.
Yeah, I just, like I say, I show up at 10 years old and a whole crowd, the assembly and the auditorium. So from a 10-year-old on the campus, not even know who is who, to a prefect, at the auditorium.
So what the first impression you got when you come to Meadowbrook?
First impression, it was a very welcoming environment. The physical landscaping of the school was, very nice. I hope they don't change much, if anything. Having the basketball courts. To the left, when you go into the left, you have the field, right? If you walk down to the left, if you walk through to the right, you have the auditorium. If you walk through to the center, you have the classes and the school administration building, and then beyond that, you have the the baseball court. What do you call it? What we used to play back then, volleyball or whatever. And then you have the library right there, in the back, and so forth. And so if you go to the middle and then you go towards the left, you have a kind of a walkway, and then you have the classrooms down, and then go down. And behind those classrooms was where I run connecting to the field. I touch the wall, I come dead last coming back.
I try to live out your namesake, yeah.
Yeah, man. So, but no, the impression of Meadowbrook was nothing negative. It was just, at least on first time I set foot on campus, it was good. And then, don't forget the lunch at the tuck shop, right?
Yeah, and Pekka.
Yeah, man. And you talk about sky juice and cocoa bread and patty and I almost think somebody could run a good business these days with a little, just call it tuck shop. Seriously, a lunch where you have all these roach coaches and stuff, that run around and serve people. But to be honest with you, the simplicity, they use styrofoam packaging, right? uh, Prince, he was styrofoam, right? And it's leaky all over the place. I mean, how about have some substantive lunch, Jamaican or otherwise? But for Jamaican, in fact, for the Jamaican community, we remind them of school because that's where you get in that tuck shop. They got a nice little box.
I remember the small box them used to have, yes.
What do you, man? You have little plantain in there, little curry, jerk chicken and a little bit of rice. You don't have to be a whole heap of stuff because people can't watch them that easy. It was just a small format lunch. Trust me, I have so many ideas for making money, but I probably should just write them down and give them to people.
Yeah. So what's some of the friends that you meet when you just come in, apart from Maurice White?
Man, so you have Desi and, Prince, I didn't know you so well at the time, but you was around.
Yeah, man, when they came 1979, I would have been either in Fifth Farm or repeat Fifth Farm. Yes.
Oh, okay. So you was ahead of us?
Yeah, man. I left school.
Okay. No wonder.
That's why I remember the cricket.
I think you were a famous dude, though. I remember.
Yeah, because when I won the Sunlight and I hit it too, I was captain of the team. That's why I remember that.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I people on a cricket team that won Sunlight for the first time.
You look so young, though. Let me say, how did I miss Prince, But yeah, you were ahead. You remember Dave Robertson too, right? Dave?
Yeah, man, Dave had been on the conversation too. Yes, Dave used to live on.
Dave been on? Yeah, man, pilot and everything.
Yeah.
Was at the time. And me and him was just very close, me and Dave Robertson, because we had a love for aviation,
Yeah.
He actually came and visited me in New Mexico. Long before COVID, must have 10 years now ago. And
that's we live in Georgia. We live in Georgia.
And who else? So Carriel was a good brethren.
Who that?
Carriel Mahabib.
Oh yeah, call out the last name, man. Yeah, because remember I'm not in your unit, so I'm not familiar.
Right. Mahabeer.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I think she also became a prefect as well. And let's see who else. There was, I guess, Nadine Moulton, and there was quite a few. There's what's your name? Son of a gun. Yeah, there's a few. If you have access to the yearbook, I don't have access to the yearbook. No, actually,
I won't send them to you. I will send them to you. I should have sent them to you before.
Good.
That's an oversight on my part, because normally I send it before. I'm going to send it to your email right now. RTF.
Yeah, I remember Raymond too.
That's a Robinson?
Yeah, Raymond Robinson. And let's see who else. Basically we in short pants and khaki.
Say, hold on, Lindsay. You come America in a short pants?
No, man, a short pants and khaki, I think. Hopefully not mixing that up with basic school.
No. I know. Hold on. You see, when we start high school, I know say like we graduate to long pants. I said,
I graduate with long pants.
Yeah. That's the one I think when you glad say pass come on entrance, say long pants time and this. You see me I say?
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. So
you have a short pants of primary school and reach a big pants thing, Yeah. That's why Lindsay I said, hold on, there was a youth here. And even at the yearbook when my brother used to come home and laugh about it, and him name Tinker, but I never felt to get him name. It's the only man I met in 1972 where I wear short pants. And the man never stop laugh up time, man.
I think I must have shown up in a short pants, but switch over to long pants.
Anybody remember that we talk about that, Lindsay? Don't worry. If Maurice remember that, we're going to reach out to him for come on the podcast. So, yeah.
But my memory not that good, so I don't remember the short pants.
No, but that's it. You remember you are wearing short pants?
I think so. I think it was short pants, but I could be wrong.
I could not have.
No, I think I'm mixing that up with primary school.
Maybe. Let me tell you, I said it should work. Exactly right, Lindsay. Exactly. So what's some of the teachers you remember, Lindsay?
So, McGregor is one of them. First of all,
And I hope this conversation encouraging because I've been trying to get him to come on. Because was an integral part of the sports team,
God, to be honest with you, yeah, he likes sports. I
Yeah, man, he
remember
was
that.
an integral part of that winning Sunlight Cup team in the
He
90s.
played soccer. I think he played soccer a lot. He played soccer a lot.
He played, yeah.
Yeah.
And but he was basically a pretty good math teacher. I'm pretty happy to hear. I mean, a lot of these teachers are still alive. You can still catch them. Um, him. Basically, there's a teacher, a geography teacher I respect a lot. She kind of short and clumpy.
It's McCullough.
Miss McCullough, yes. Yeah, I respect her quite a lot. And, she's an extremely good geography teacher. And there's a kind of Indian lady, well, at least her hair was done kind of like just black and short.
Oh, Miss Laidlaw?
Alayla, I think so.
You should
Yeah,
teach English?
Yeah, man. She was the one who used to, after we take English exam, we can't show up for class because I'm the one getting the highest grades.
Yeah, man. And she ended up work with JBC or CVM. So JBC go work for on the news station.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Because she said, you should walk with this boy, talk with this boy. And I was like, Miss Laidlaw, please, don't praise me so much, I'm going to get beat up.
Yeah.
So when after exam, they just disappear. When I go to the next class, when I know she handing out grades. But she would encourage me. She said, listen, I know you like science. Don't stay in a room and just be a scientist. You should write, become a writer and stuff. And to this day, I remember her inspiration on that. I mean, I end up getting like an A for the general paper, to say the least.
And she had promised to come on these podcasts, but she passed.
Oh, really?
She passed recently, within the last year. Yeah, man, because Christopher Cheddar knew our son good, and he was in contact with her.
I remember Cheddar.
Yeah, man, yeah. Cheddar had been on this conversation, too. Yeah. I will.
So as far as teacher, so those are kind of the ones that stick out. I'm sure there are others, but to Mr. Winston, to Mr. Lawson, credit, man, that was a very good. I just remember not having enough. I think at the time I qualified to take all the subject, for mock exam. And, at the time, I think we were running through some financial issues at the time, in terms of timing for paying for stuff. And he said, look, man, don't worry, I'll front you for physics,
Mm-hmm.
So he actually paid for my physics exam. And, so that was to me a very,
Yeah. But let me ask you something, Lindsay. Because just to describe yourself, and I didn't know you at all, because he's a younger youth for me. You sound like what I call these days a polymath, where you can do, everything. May I say that right, Desi?
That's one thing we step away from, is because too many people out there like that. And in fact, Einstein would not be proud. Einstein is simple but no simpler, right? If you use that philosophy to your life, you realize nobody gets a Nobel Prize from just theory alone. You have to show evidence and experimental evidence. So, basically, at least in the sciences. And so, I've dealt with Nobel Prize winners. I've talked with them, and a lot of them have praised my work. I don't need a Nobel Prize, but I thought about making a film and writing a book called Black Nobel.
Yeah.
Because no black person has ever really gotten the Nobel Prize for physics. And it's a shame because we're all bright people, as we know. And we have all accomplished, there are people in American history who deserve the Nobel Prize. But if somebody could sponsor a film called Black Nobel, I could literally be the subject matter for it.
No. And the reason why I asked the question, Lindsay, is that when did you realize? Because I listen to you and I realize that you are gifted in all of the subject. Not like it's strong now. Anything I put your mind to, it looked like you could have to do it. How early you realize that you could have done anything without. You were that gifted then. We put it that way. I'm not calling that beside Lindsay.
I've got to be honest with you. Ever since I was little, facts and information related to scientific constants were something that was important to me for whatever reason. I love the physics from day one. And physics, by virtue, chemistry and the sciences, but I was also good in the languages.
And the arts, right.
Spanish, literally, when I come to University of Miami, we had conversation Spanish, A plus, and conversation Spanish to show up for class. And at the time, I was a manager of an apartment complex in Miami Beach. When I was at University of Miami as a part time. So basically, I didn't have to be there. I signed on my door straight. It was the sweetest job. And then the guy said, "Look, man, you did so well here. Why I don't give you the next apartment 2 blocks away?" So I got 2 Art Deco apartments. Didn't have to be there because I was always at school, collect the rent, and I was able to converse with the Spanish speaking people and stuff like that. I have all kinds of wonderful, amazing stories on that. And so basically, conversation in Spanish, no books involved. So you just talk about what happened in the last week in Spanish.
Yeah, yeah.
And so at that time, in Jamaica, learning Spanish was mandatory, like around till about 9th grade or so.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. So and Spana herself, Miss McLennan,
Was a Spanish teacher, right.
Yeah, and I think she had lived in Mexico for some time and so forth. So I kind of realized the importance of that, to be able to speak different languages. And one of the things, it's nice if you can send your kids to like Latin school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of all languages. So if you have a chance to send your kids to Latin school, I just recommend that to them.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, language and other languages are important. And so basically, I like learning new things, and I learn them fast. And so, basically, I remember the mass of the neutron, right? I mean, down to whatever digit, I mean, we used to try to memorize so many. But actually, one of the things that pushed that pretty hard, Prince, is school challenge quiz, training for that.
Yeah.
Training for school challenge quiz, that push it to the next level, because you have to remember constants. You remember who did this, who did
everything,
that. Everything around the world. And
yeah.
So I really enjoy that. Oh, you remember Eastern Liber, right?
Yeah, man, actually, Easton and I did a conversation last week,
really?
with Miss
Last week? Oh.
With Miss Codlin. He was the co-host like this tonight, yeah, with Miss Codlin and Mrs. Nelson.
Yeah.
Remember Miss Codlin?
She taught
Spanish, I think. I think she taught Spanish as well. Yeah.
Quite possibly I take class with her.
Yeah. And I sent you the 2-year books via email. You can check and see if you get
it.
Yeah.
No, I will. So Eastern Live, I was captain. I think I was vice captain of the school challenge team at the time. And we went down to JBC. I wouldn't mind finding a clip of that. And so I kind of push things in terms of knowledge of particular things. And so I just totally enjoy learning. That's why I'm also a professor right now. I've been a professor for as long as I know.
Mm-hmm.
At New Mexico Tech, at National University in San Diego. Last year, I received the 2023 Delphi Award for academic excellence.
Yeah.
So
let me ask. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
When I teach, I don't disparage students.
Yeah.
I don't cut them off at the knees or discourage them. As long as you show up for class, and as long as you try, you're gonna be successful in my class.
Yeah, man.
So I don't, because a lot of bad instructors turn people away from the
Yeah.
towards them. So
no.
Yeah.
Just listen to you, Lindsay. You're so humble. I just say you didn't take it serious at all in terms of your gift and all. And Lindsay, did you realize that Lindsay was this gifted from me and him go school together?
Well, back then we never used to know the term gifted. We just call it right.
I tell you, Lindsay is a bright one too. So look at that, 23-year government economist. They don't,
Yeah.
So we all have our gifts and things. But for me, I like the actual where the rubber hits the road, right? To actually use that in a real way. I am a believer. That's another thing. As far as my deportment with regard to life, death, and the future. And I think most of us are in some way or form. But I'm somebody who believes that in real time. So if everybody talk about end of the world and eschatology, and let's save up this and that and go into the mountain, get guns and food, and so we can survive. A foolishness that.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you hear them preach about eschatology, a nonsense. This is not what Christ called us to do, right? You should be a witness, every day if you can, the best you can. That's the realness, because that's what Jesus did, right? He was a witness. People believe in him such as to touch his tunic. So real time to me is better than future foolishness.
Yeah,
because
where do we know? Yeah.
the future foolishness is what has caused wars and more wars and unending foolishness across the world. You don't have to fret, right? You don't have to fret and say, oh, what's going to happen? This, that, whatever, this one over that one, this one, a foolishness, the whole thing of foolishness. In fact, everything's just going to, and the thing is, it's sad if we know that while we're alive.
Yeah.
And not even pass on to our children then. That's how to tell them.
Yeah. But
go ahead.
No. Let me ask you something. I didn't want to cut you off or interrupt you. But so when you come Meadowbrook, you come Meadowbrook in 1979, and Meadowbrook, were you happy to be at Meadowbrook, or you just feel Meadowbrook was just a school there? I said, boy.
No, man. I mean, doesn't matter which school I went to. I would have probably be happy to be there, because for me it was all about learning, and so Meadowbrook was way above any of my expectations in terms of just the interaction with the faculty. Not everybody can say that for every school, right? Including maybe some universities or whatever, because you have a lot of people who are jerks. I don't like jerks, and so basically it's for me. I would be as long as there's somebody that cheats something and I can learn something from it, I'd be happy to be there. But of course, the environment has to be welcoming. So just to have people, friends, and so like during break and lunchtime, let's stop. You guys can do a little thing, meet up, and I mean, it's a thing that's not just unique to Meadowbrook; it's universal, right? You have to have some kind of interaction with people, and you have to respect people, and you do things together. That's how human society developed to what we call a civilization. And once we stop doing that, you see the breakdown of that all across the world, right? People driven to one extreme or the other. Foolishness. All of it it's so foolish, it's unbelievable. I'm a futurist, but I'm a futurist now. I'm not waiting on the future. I believe the thing is real time and is right now. So all these people making 100-year plan are foolishness. I'm telling you straight up, are foolishness.
Well, you can't create and know the most important thing, right?
Yeah,
right.
Now.
Right.
So in a way, that's why I have a lot of respect for, despite some of these politics, Musk, and people who are actually putting their money where their mouth is. And so I try to do that. For us, we kind of bootstrap a lot, and so we're successful in many, many areas, even medical stuff. I've done radiation experiments for astronauts, got praised for discovering a lot of stuff, have patents, inventions. I'm generally more kind to people than I should be sometimes. But, I've been kind to people, and I help students, God knows, a lot of them from military, from all different backgrounds, adults, kids. I've led them to a path of, I have people working on all kinds of stuff for us now, like inventions and stuff and new technology, but hitting it in real time versus, 10
years down the road or 100 years. You're not a 100-year plan at all, no. I got you.
I built a laboratory in New Mexico.
Yeah. But so talk.
That was impossible, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't even say nothing to them. Have it done like long time, and they're still talking about how do we do this, do that. It's done already, long time, and proven and gone forward. So so that's why I'm saying you have to be careful of some of the academics and some of the people who, because of status or whatever, think that they have a monopoly on knowledge. Nobody, trust me, if you're smart, you listen to what the giant have to say. You ping him. You listen to what they, whoever of whatever low status. You hear, right? You get a data point. The giant could I tell you, say, look, Prince, don't go in there because such and such are gone. But you miss that opportunity, right? By not communicating. But to me, communication is extremely important.
You follow. So talk to us about cause the bio send me you have good memory of PE and track and cricket. Talk to us a little about the sports. What influence sports had to you and at Meadowbrook? Because when you came to Meadowbrook was not a sports school. By the time you leave, we had won a couple trophies. Talk to us what
So
influence
I
that
remember,
had on you.
I don't know if you remember Bottom Field, Leicester.
Yeah, man, yes, yeah.
Yeah, man. So Bottom Field used to run. There's a lot of things that used to happen at Bottom Field, and I thought that was kind of special down there because I mean, it's right next to the mountains. It's very scenic, and if you wanted to, you can. So I always think that 100 meter and so was kind of my thing.
With a name like Quarrie, you should.
Yeah, man. And 200 and them kind of thing there. So, I mean, so I've run quite a bit down there. One of the things that we play soccer down there a lot, and I think there was some long jump business happening down there.
Yeah, man, yeah, everything done at Bottomfield. Sports there, to keep a Bottomfield, Lindsay. Sports there, yeah.
Yeah, and so I hope they still have that. They still have Bottomfield?
Yeah, man, I was there last year, and I was there. Actually, this year,
good.
in July, they want to try renovate it back in a way, because it closed down for a while.
Good.
But I think they start play football match and down there and all of them. And the
okay, good. I mean, it's kind of nice when they preserve the integrity, because how developers are. They want to come and buy out and do all of this, but that's good. The Meadowbrook management seems to be working very well.
Yeah, and the current principal have big plans. See, they have big vision in terms of them. Would turn it into like a sports complex or a second.
Yeah, especially with a swimming pool.
Yeah, man, all them things there. They have planned seed in terms of say. And but the talk about when I was down there, when it was the function, they had a 65th anniversary garden. I was down there for that, and the talk to
Oh, okay.
And I tour Bottomfield them and all of them. And what's them new plans them up? So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely be willing to support some of those.
No, man, definitely. That is one of the benefits from having these conversations, that we can make a link with people. That's what we want. And we get into that in the conversation, because I have a question to ask specifically about that. So, what memories you have about the cricket and thing?
Yes, cricket. Why, I love cricket. And, I just remember one time, we used to play during class, right? And all of that, with the pads and everything. But me, oh boy, you're bringing on memories I forgot about when you asked me about that, because I like spin bowling, right? So when I bowl, when my ball drop, I like it to change direction.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a spin bowler. I wasn't a fast bowler, but I was a spins. So I curl up the ball, and then so when I release it, it go choop, choop.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was a spin bowler myself, Lindsay, so I know exactly where you talk. Yeah.
And take out. So that's what I specialize in. Yeah. And one time I got lucky with being with batsmen but this wasn't actually on the campus, but it was while I was going to Meadowbrook. There's a canyon down in country in Kingsvale.
And where's that, Lindsay? Sorry.
In Hanover. And so
really? That's where my mother come from, Hanover. Where in Hanover?
Yeah, man. So that's where my family.
Where in Hanover that is, Lindsay?
Harncourt, which is next to Kingsvale. I mean, you're about Pell River. But, if you go Lucy and you go 6 miles south, you're in Kingsvale.
Oh, south of Lucy. My parents them live up in the north, in the hills, up where Merlin had to come from.
Okay.
Bonside, Cascade. That was my neck of the woods. You say you go south of Lucy, yeah?
Yeah, man. South of Lucy, and then you get towards a little circle around about Kingsvale, and you go to the right.
Yeah.
Harncourt, and then that will take you down to Caldwell as well.
I go towards the Westmoreland border.
Kind of, sort of,
yeah.
Leslie, where you come from?
Senton. My family's from Senton. Born in Senton.
Bobby type area?
Senton. No, Senton. Money.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. So, but no, in that little canyon there. I mean, it's literally like a canyon, an open canyon, and they decided to play some cricket game down there. I can't remember what, but it was weird. But I got lucky with the cricket because somebody bowled a nice ball, and I licked it out for 6,
mm-hmm.
And then they did another one, and the same thing happened. I was the hero of the day, man. They proceeded to call me Little Jesus. No, wrong person, but
yeah.
But no, cricket was kind of an inspiration in a way because, I mean, it's our national game. And right now, I think you have Pakistan versus. I mean, it's so important in those other countries, versus England right now,
Yeah.
and so with the Manning Cup. Wait, what was the Manning Cup for? What sport was that? Because I heard David
Football,
was
football, football at
oh,
Lindsay, football, yeah.
okay,
Or
soccer.
soccer, as the Americans call it, football, yeah.
Right, right. So soccer, I used to like that a lot. I think I used to play left wing or something like that. Yeah, left wing was my position for soccer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So,
I think
yeah, go ahead,
are
go
really
ahead.
those are really the key things. Some cricket, soccer, and some track and field a bit.
So, so,
Yeah,
so, how early you met Mr. McGregor, Rory? At what age that you met Mr.
it'll
McGregor?
probably be about 10 years old.
So, you might
See,
teach you much from first farm then?
I think so. I want to say that, but I'm not 100% recollect. But I just remember him being a standout kind of a teacher. He used to smoke,
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
and but he was very forthright, in things, and so he would challenge us a lot,
Yeah.
with the math. Um, so it might have been, I don't know, it might have been later than third, what do you call it, ninth form.
Third farm or ninth grade, yeah.
Is you remember? You
Yeah,
remember when?
it probably would have been about third farm. I'm trying to remember who taught us math in first farm, but I don't think he came down that low. I
Right,
think,
yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah,
yeah, I think it started about. I mean, we would have encountered him about third farm.
Third or fourth farm, I teach him. Because he used to teach physics as well and add maths and all them things there, right?
yeah. Oh,
Right,
right.
Right.
Interesting. I remember being in physics lab. This is a memory I have.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember being in physics. I may remember exactly where I was in physics lab when they showed something about we heard that the Challenger shuttle blew up. I just remember that. That's one of the things, and I think that happened in 80s. What time did that? When did
six,
that
85, 86.
happen? 85,
Maybe
86.
you're in
And
sixth
that
farm at the time then.
was in sixth form. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and so that was kind of
That was
interesting. I remember in chemistry lab, the reaction of potassium and sodium and them kind of thing there. It touch water and it's almost explosive. Somebody actually put some inside of inside of a little carton, like a orange juice carton or something like that, and leave it. So they put the sodium in there and then put some water and just leave it on the thing and cause some trouble, basically. Like somebody was doing a prank at that time, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So,
Yeah,
so
I don't think that. Mhm.
no, so you were very talented at all round, Lindsay, in terms of that. Is there a particular subject you like more at Meadowbrook than others? And why
I'll
would
tell
that
you,
be?
physics was key. Physics was top. In fact, even in some of my writings, I said I hope to be obsessed with this, the most natural science. And physics was just always, the thought experiments from physics, just the ability to understand, more than just Newton's laws and classical stuff. Now I'm into quantum theory and, quantum computing, by the way. Computing has become much more important for anybody now. I mean, literally, you can't get away from computing. But you can actually describe a system. With the math was pretty important as well. But I really love physics just because of the history of it, right? The history, the inspiration from Einstein, some of the much older people in the field, even in the chemistry part. And when you watch some of these documentaries, one of the things that kind of pushed me with the physics was just the ability to travel to space. Okay. Uh, that to me was, in fact, I passed all the U.S. Air Force qualifying tests for Air Force officer as well as their submarine force as well. Um, way back in time at Andrews Air Force Base and also at Kings Bay, Georgia for subs. And, I actually qualified for the astronaut program. And but as you know, sometimes, U.S. has bigotry and says, yes, it's,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
oh, you passed everything. So my buddy's been trying to get into this program for 30 years. What makes you think you could get in?
So hold on, Lindsay. The man actually said that to you?
Yeah. And I was like, I said, well, I said, listen, I didn't, you guys brought me in here, right? What kind of bullshit is this?
Mm.
It's discrimination and racism. And I'm not going to mince any words on it. So he said, yeah, we can get you to fighter pilot training, but ain't no guarantee you're going to get in. So yes, not program, but I'm in. I'm everything passed, physical, mock exam, everything. Atomic. I mean, it says okay, go ahead and pull me in. So at the time, I was working for the government already. So I already had a stable job. I was actually doing extremely well as a researcher for the government. So it was through the Maryland Air National Guard, and so we did everything at the Andrews Air Force Base, and so I passed everything for that. It's not a unique story, Prince, but
No,
it's
no,
just
no.
one.
I know it wouldn't be, especially in the
Yeah.
scientific field, like
So
probably
I
worse.
mean, I mean,
Yeah.
not a black dude who went through the
Hmm.
same thing, and so basically, it's not a big deal. It's an experience. So I say, look, what I basically say, you know what, forget it.
But
I mean, cannot deal with me this way. I say, oh, it's as the needs of the military dictate. Otherwise, I would have been, I would actually been joined the astronaut corps. But it's not a big deal because here it is. I own my own space company,
yeah,
right? I can go fly anytime I want. I'm a member of the Civil Air Patrol. A senior member. My son has flown aircraft, gliders and stuff like that. He's a nuclear engineer. Right now, he's actually studying nuclear engineering. Um, I'm a since 2004, I'm a radiation worker at Los Alamos National Labs, and it's just like back in the day, those physicists. That's how well I'm trained. I got selected in 2009 for the neutron school.
yeah.
30 people. I was one of them. And at White Sands, at Brookhaven in New York, I'm certified at multiple radiation labs all over the world. So I can go in and do my radiation experiments, and I often do that for semiconductors as well as for human, cells and so forth, so
Hmm.
people can survive radiation. But especially for chips and stuff, so they won't, you know. That's a whole wealth of
And what, but,
knowledge.
but, but, well, let me ask you a question, Lindsay, as you talk about that. And listen to you, I'm very intrigued in terms of listening to you. It's like the information and the skill where you have. You think it's something you could have teach the student at Meadowbrook? Or,
Yeah, man,
or you inspire student for want to learn physics? And we put a question that way.
yeah. My stuff is real time. So the moment that they deal with me, they're on the tarmac, But it's with love, it's with love. And so basically, I give people real stuff. So for example, people wonder, how do you file a patent? How do you file a trademark? How do you file a copyright? I mean, those are actually very simple things, very simple things. But people get involved with attorneys that charge them $100,000, 150. I'm a student. I'm talking about adults here who actually have regular full-time working jobs, saying, "Hey, Dr. Quarrie, somebody told me don't even try filing a patent. It's going to cost you 150,000. Oh, Dr. Quarrie, they said don't even try. And I was like, oh my God, how horrible. So I have ways of advice. I actually did work for the Patent and Trademark Office for about internally when I worked with the government.
Hmm.
I did a little thing. So I did their patent school for about actually 2 weeks. So I did a patent school, but that didn't really have any impact on me because I didn't even need that, to be honest. But I teach you how to file trademark, patent, copyright for just for the fun of doing it. Don't charge you any money. And it's fast. And I've done that for many people. And they've gone on and gotten their patent, $600. So, in other words, I set you up with your patent at the patent office, meaning that you get your customer number. Simple step. All you have to do is just write your email and your name and your address. You send it to you. Boom. You get your customer number. Then the next step is your digital ID. You get that. You just go to a notary, get that. Boom, you're on. You have all the privileges of an attorney, right? And then there's a template. And you fill out the specifications, you fill out the abstract, you fill out the claim. Easy peasy. You upload it. If they have a problem, they literally tell you, here's my number, call me or call my supervisor.
But you
They
know what?
beg it.
You know what?
And people ignore all of that and think, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So me I deal with a patent lady one time and she said, oh Lindsay, this is gonna take so long, blah, 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 and she's already got like 10 grand. And then I said, look, in real time, let me show you something. And so I got on the phone, a three-way call with the patent office, and in 5 minutes, the guy solved my problem. Lindsay, how did you do that? And it's like,
You know what?
pick up the phone and call and talk to the people.
You know why I'm laughing? You know what? You know why I'm laughing, Lindsay and Desi? Because since, believe it or not, Lindsay, and me I forgot to talk half the year behind the paid wall. Because I almost have done 100 of these conversations. And most of them is over 2 hours. So it's about 200 hours worth. I did register the patent office, I have to say. But more importantly, I also had written a book before I started this conversation, right? And I said, it's about time I publish the book, But I don't know what for turn. But I don't look like I have to turn up further than you.
I can't tell you if you listen.
But behind the paid wall, I will talk to you, Lindsay. Behind the paid wall.
Need permission to publish, right? There's something called drafts to digital, and I'll put it in the chat here. Go check it out. And
no, man, send it to my email. Send it to my email, Lindsay. And you and I will talk about it because I want
some people have that ability, so you can get hard copy or electronic copy.
No, man, I you and I have got to talk after the year. I don't want
go through review.
This conversation is about you. I don't want to take it up with my personal.
So I teach those things. I get you up and running. I get you. You can get your stuff into. I mean, people will relish what I've.
No. I am happy for talking to you about that, but as I say, I don't want this conversation about you. I don't want to take it up. So you and I will talk about it. I need to talk about getting my book published and get.
Easy.
I'm getting.
If you have the book ready, I can publish it in 1 hour. We can get it online and published.
Oh no, man! I'm glad to hear that the book is ready.
Available to the whole world. Have an ISBN number, everything.
No, man, perfect. That's what I want.
You can't start. You can't put it. It gets on 6 or 7 different book sites, and including Amazon as well, and Barnes and Noble. People can buy.
No, man, no. I'm talking to the right man. Trust me. Right, I don't have to go. I don't have to go further at all. And then we'll talk about how I'm going to deal with the only almost 300-400 hours worth of podcast information in terms of how I'm going to deal with that I go forward, because it's a digital body I've created there so over 2 years I know me I do it. Next year 2 years now me start.
Oh, okay.
There's a whole heap, but you and I will talk about that after years. That's it. Behind the pin.
Digital rights management, DRM.
Yeah, man. No, right. I've done something with that, but definitely I need to talk to you further about that. But as I say, this conversation about you and not even Desi, because Desi I'm a co-host, and Desi, you're disappointed, Dante, you know, ask a question and I want to.
Hold on, I think
I don't know where to step in.
I tell you, Desi, listen, I think in all of this, everybody just natural, so everybody just be natural.
Yeah, man, it's a conversation, man. It's just I just want me about this, man.
Yeah, man, but like we say, Einstein says simple and no simpler, and I use that motto. So that's one of Einstein's saying that I like. They say, Einstein also said God doesn't play dice.
Yeah.
In academia, Einstein would not be happy with them, because the roadblocks they put in front of people to get stuff done, and the prognostication. So somebody I tell you there's only this amount of atoms in the universe. Desi, as a logical man, and logic, is something you really should understand as being a gift. There's logic and there's foolishness. You can subscribe to logic, but we naturally do, because that's how you put the next step forward. So, and I'm going to tell you, and I also have a thing called a bullshit meter, right? You should really invoke it. So if you're in a meeting, Desi, in fact, never bag here. Never bag says.
I'm because the conversation not been taped for go. Lindsay have a bag of the BS bag, seal BS bag in. Explain to us how the BS bag go, Lindsay. Tell you what the BS bag for.
So the BS bag is like if you're in a meeting and you realize, and you should be quick to call out bullshit. You should call it out on the news. You should call it out from politicians. You should call it out. Listen, let me tell you something about one of the things. I think we did do Animal Farm with the American.
Yeah, we did that.
Listen, Desi, trust me, man. That is the book of instruction, because guess what? To this day, it still applies. Animal Farm, Prince, as you might remember, is like the farmer have a beautiful farm, all the different animals, they're all being fed and taken care of, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Prince, one day the pig said, wait, I can be in control. I wanna be on top, right? And so the pig, you know, talk of a storm, right? To all the other nicely fed animals and happy animals. I say, wait, you can be more, you can, why we don't do this? Why we don't overthrow the farmer, right? And so the pig rile everybody up before you know it, they overthrow the farmer. And then after the farmer run left him farm, right? The pig get on stage and say, look, but guess what? I mean, his nice leather jacket now and everything, and take the mic. And he said, all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. Animal Farm is instructive. And from there on, a dictatorship came about that did the same thing as whatever before.
It's a George Orwell.
Yeah,
George Orwell.
So that tells me I drive with a Ukrainian cab driver before all this Ukraine war business, before COVID. And I think I was supposed to end up in DC, but for some reason the plane had to go to Baltimore. So we just take a cab down. I think the cab driver says, look, I'm an electronics guy. I used to do this in Ukraine. And of course, he has a little Ukrainian flag on his dash. And so I said, cool, yeah, I'm into electronics too. And then he started talking about, certain things political. So I said, look, and he was so astounded by, I said, he said he's going to go get Animal Farm, the book, because it's the same bullshit all over and over again. Nobody's been held accountable. They talk a big talk and then they get on, so the whole thing is, you don't have to get on a podium. You understand? Mm-hmm. That's the whole idea. And in fact, nobody, like nobody, I'm not going to say nobody remember you, but, we're doing things where people can remember us now. And it's actually very important to get that into the literature, to your family members and so on and so forth. So when somebody say a black person can't do this and I can't do that, you don't say a foolishness that, right? Mm-hmm. Because everybody of every race, of every country, of every genre has achieved everything any other man has achieved. So if somebody tell you this, is a lie. Okay. Oh, black people not in Norway, then they're there a long time. In Sweden, they're there a long time. In Spain, they're there a long time. In fact, I went to a radiation conference over in France, in Biarritz, flying to Spain, in San Sebastian, right? Yeah. Madrid, Sebastian. And I took a bus and go up into Biarritz across. I was going out. Before I did that, the bus took me to a train station. They took me to the wrong train station. So me in this cowboy hat, just like you see me, walking through, San Sebastian. And I asked two older Spanish gentlemen, I say, what? ¿Dónde está el tren? Where's the train station? And they're like, oh, I don't know, no está, no sabe, And would you believe me, Prince? A dreadlocks, literally, over, behind me, just walked through. I said, I'm over there, so man. It was so scared. I couldn't believe it. I mean, a Jamaican dread in the middle of nowhere just showed up like an angel and directed me to the train station. I was just like, whoa, this is just a God moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And the train station was kind of hidden because it was down. It wasn't like a platform. I said, yeah, man, just go over there. And I just went over there and the train wasn't ready yet, but I found the place and that was the first time I had gelato. So I came upstairs and I look and they have these gelato. I mean, I sit on the podium there, had my gelato. I just wait for the train, up into France, into Biarritz. And so basically, but my point is, there are Jamaicans everywhere, for example, and there are black people and all different kinds of people everywhere throughout society, throughout space and time. So if that's one of the things that young, people in general, doesn't matter what race they are, because, we're not racist, right? We don't participate in that as Jamaicans or anybody else.
No. With simple that. Yeah.
I had students that were we sit at the back of the class and talk about stuff from France, there are people from all over the place. And that's the beauty, out of many one people.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I think that in Jamaica, to be honest with you, you have Bob Marley Center, but I think we have a real feeling of knowledge. We need to create an institute of love because of the things that's happening in the world. An institute of love would, to me, that would be kind of a dream because it would allow people to understand. And it could become part of the United Nations. It doesn't have to be part of bureaucracy, but an institute of love, just based in Jamaica, even for Jamaicans, because the amount of killing and stuff that's happening out there is unacceptable. You know what I think? Every time, at every town, and they should run a competition. They should put up a billboard at how many people got murdered, raped, killed, stabbed, whatever. They have it. So as you're driving into the town, you see the statistics. We don't want to not report it on the news. You can have that, but have it where when you're going into Kingston or whatever, Morant whatever, you see how many people just got murdered, okay, or got whatever the crime is, and then you can tie that to a statistics where people have pride in their community as to, try to lower the crime. But, okay, and so everybody can claim a CFS, the CFS.
But I'm gonna make it think about it a different way, Lindsay. Because and I've been thinking about this because I come up to my 100th conversation. I'm saying, what am I gonna talk about? 100th episode, and it's the word love. We talked about a while ago. And one thing I found out during this conversation is that come beside them conversation because we don't want to talk about cricket and the sportsman them. And I realize everybody love Meadowbrook. Everybody go to Meadowbrook, have a love for Meadowbrook is like, and we can talk about. May I get people come start Meadowbrook in 1961, Lindsay, would just start when the school just opened. And I realize what happening is that people are falling in love back over with Meadowbrook. Sometimes them are falling back over with themselves. And sometimes them are falling back with love, fall in love with people them never know so them in love with because of the connection them want to make. You see, I said, by just having the conversation, Lindsay, because I just start the conversation, no judgment or nothing, just come tell me a story. Just come and tell me a story. Just come tell me your story. And as some look at it, like, can we get people to start talk? Are we in a unique position?
We have to have a team of love. And in fact, an institute of love is in order. The Institute of Love. And I'm thinking maybe somewhere near Negrilla or something like that, but it could be all over the country where people actually will do things to allow other people in the community to feel safe. So you come there, you listen to Bama, you listen to reggae music, you get good Jamaican food. I swear to God, if they were distributing Jamaican food across the world in certain places, the man they would have stopped and they wouldn't bother fight. Like the Germans and the British during Christmas time. They literally stopped fighting and got together and actually shared a meal.
Yeah. That's I'm aware of it. Yeah.
I tell you, say anything outside of that are foolishness.
Yeah. So
this Institute of Love.
What I think what I'm saying though, Lindsay, that maybe we can start small. We can start a Meadowbrook. Start a Meadowbrook. You see, I said, let's start. That's why. Encourage the conversation and just. And build a foundation for me, because we're not unique.
It's something the world need. And the thing is, if you are going to pass through this time and space, right? This life.
Yeah.
You can, I get this from the stars. When I say the stars, I mean, not in this space time. I feel like I'm connected to the rest of the universe. We all are.
Yeah.
Somebody argue with me, but tell them, say we live in a multiverse, right? They say, no, man, serious academic. So he starts struggling with me. I say, no, what do you mean, multiverse? Let's not talk about foolishness, the multiverse. Believe in that. He said, look, Occam's razor, right? The simplest thinking is the best, right? You come across a situation, Occam's razor says, okay, just simple. Just take whatever the simplest explanation is. But he said, yes, we want to use Occam's razor because, and we actually have a computer language called Occam, by the way, Desi, that we use. But Occam's razor says, take the simplest explanation. But it turns out that the simplest explanation could actually be, and in my mind, is that we're in a multiverse. Mm-hmm. Where's Jesus and the coming thing that's supposed to come? You think they just come out of the blue? They exist in another dimension. Your mind, my mind, everybody's mind has access to all dimensions. That's one of the gifts that we've been given. We have access to every single dimension in our mind. And we don't realize it, and we don't consciously, there are things that come to you in dreams and visions, but
I actually feel the same way to Lindsay. I think we're all connected.
No. I mean, they don't want to turn it into science, but you
No,
don't
no,
need
but I
that.
do actually feel I'm not scientifically minded like you, but I actually do feel the same. We're all connected to one.
It is. You know what's real is that, and what are the implications of it for some call entanglement. So they say you have a twin in the Bahamas. It's when you pull her ears, your twin feel it instantly. That actually exists at a quick level. In other words, you perturb something right here, it feels the same force at the same
Yeah.
So it's actually active right now in communications, and the Chinese jumping ahead on it. But
so Lindsay, I think what Jelly is saying is that institute
the Institute of Love, man.
Right. What I'm saying that we could actually get that started at Meadowbrook and make it be an outgrowth.
Yeah, right. That's
Meadowbrook to the rest of the community, the rest of the country.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I said.
World, because I've seen so much hate. I see it on TV. I see it between Jamaicans. I see it, just depends on where you come from. If you have the napkin one way or the other, if you use knife fork one way or the other.
Yeah.
So the basis of the Institute of Love is kind of an embodiment of Christ without necessarily explicitly saying that.
Yeah. Right.
That, you can't touch with a broomstick, because it turns out that this Institute of Love to try to solve some world problem.
Yeah.
You don't need diplomatic credential.
No, but right. No.
What I'm saying is my family and your family should live as the U.S. Constitution supports it as well, right?
Yeah.
You know that. So Constitution of the U.S. supports this Institute of Love.
Yeah, man.
Because, according to the law, right? Which, they don't necessarily follow, but.
No. Wait.
Teach, like boys need to be taught certain things to be compassionate to women, and women need to be taught certain things to be compassionate to.
Yeah.
All of that stuff is missing. It's like.
But them don't teach it at school. But
that tell you this. I saw a clip. I don't know why I ended up seeing it, but it was a Jamaican. And the guy had such an insight, a doctor that's an OBGYN. And he said, look, in fact, if I find the clip, I'll send it to you. But this guy is such an intellect, just unbelievable, because he said, look, after treating women for so long, I end up stepping back and start to listen to them, right? Because they have certain needs. Yeah, that boys don't even are aware of certain things they go through. And then we put pressure on them for this, pressure on them for that, right? And, but they in their mind have to consider a lot of things that, as men, we don't have to worry about, right? And so he said, boy, he had just developed such a different attitude. He just listens more than anything, to them when they come with problems.
So I just said that, Lindsay, you think we learn that.
So that's part of the love. So
yeah, no, and I think we can start the experiment at Meadowbrook. I'm on board with this. It's an Institute of Love. But you talk about that. You think we were in a unique position at Meadowbrook where, because we were a co-ed school, we were better prepared for dealing with the opposite sex.
Right, true, but it's just as logical, I've trained everybody together, male and female. But just being a co-ed school doesn't accomplish it.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
But boys need to be taught what girls go through, right? Maybe in biology they do that, like in bio class. I don't know what they're teaching now, but also, girls need to be taught what boys go through.
What you're saying? We need to teach each other more than the birds and the bees.
Yeah, exactly. Like for example, as women as they get older, they have PMS, right?
Yeah.
A very difficult time for women, right? Girls see their period and stuff, and that's a difficult time for them. They have to worry about their safety, right?
Yeah.
In terms of how they move. A man generally don't have to worry about that.
Don't think about that at all. Them don't consciously think about that at all. Woman
but we have to kind of break it down to almost a science, in that there are a lot of things between men and women that happen, people being inconsiderate, in one way or the other. But those things you get worn down by that. Right?
Yeah, man. No. I agree with you. I'm waiting about it.
But how do you just have a bridge to a decent existence without feeling threatened, without having to
So let me challenge you. Let me ask you something.
It translates to society.
Well, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something, Lindsay. Could you create a course for your high school, a template where you say you want to teach this course? Because really I say it's a relationship course you want to teach to
But it's more than that, because what I would do is this. And in fact, I could probably just give ChatGPT some little thing and it will generate that for me. And I will see what ChatGPT say, or Bard. Bard is the other one I use.
Yeah.
Which is more, I don't know if you ever use Bard. If you have Gmail, you have Bard in a busy.
Bard is Google, right?
Yeah. Trust me. Don't care what anybody say. Please embrace AI. Embrace artificial intelligence.
Definitely.
If you don't, they're gonna be left in the dust.
Don't be intimidated or think say anything. You can't ignore it. No.
You have a fork, right? You can eat with a fork. You can eat some ackee saltfish and dumpling with that. Man, I could have licked off right now. Some ackee saltfish and dumpling for breakfast. But you can also use the fork and knife to poke somebody, right?
Yeah.
So what to make nobody tell you about AI this and AI that. And even from a religious perspective of foolishness. Because the same kind of thing humans are capable of. Betrayal, deceit.
Yeah.
There's nothing the AI is doing, right? There's it that we're not doing already.
No.
Right.
I got to be more efficient. Yeah.
So foolishness. So, I encourage people to understand AI. And as Black people, I'm going to be as our minorities, you have to do AI. It's another part of the Underground Railroad.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
To try to make sure you have good information that can be helpful to others. But, I love people. I love my neighbor. I try to be good to people. I love everybody else's kids. I wish the best for them, right? I wish they could be good contributors in society. That's all I know, and that's all I want. And to be honest with you, to see people fighting and doing things to other people, even at an international level, which is just so beyond.
Yeah. But it's start on the smaller. It's all we're gonna take back with life, basically what you're saying.
Yeah, but the Institute of Love thing is to be able to spread.
Yeah.
So it's almost like trying to spread the gospel, but just to be a witness.
Without using the word. Without using
right?
religious terminology. Them.
Yeah. I mean, music. We have good Jamaican music already. We have good food. But the goal is to try to get people to goddamn relax.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I don't just be
Lindsay.
It's so disgusting that people have to. Yeah, go ahead, Desi. Sorry.
Here's a thought. And I know
about this.
right. Here's a thought, and I know this is where Jelly has been trying to guide this conversation. Is that the Meadowbrook that we are talking about, that 79 when we started, was guys 79 that microcosm of what you're talking about, of that Institute of Love, in that we all came into that environment. We all felt that love. We all came from different stratas of society, different regional thing, but there was that love that went out, that we came into, that went out, that allows us to be sitting here, still have that compassion, still have that empathy, still have that love for humanity that we got into in that space, and it nurtured us and brought us to where we are. So it is basically saying, why don't we put that as a formal institute back in Meadowbrook?
How can we recreate it back?
To recreate that, right, to get it back and get it out.
Yeah, that's what I'm really saying.
That is not just us. The three of us are the Meadowbrookian here.
And listen, but we do the pilot in a Meadowbrook, and I say, what you really are saying at this, and I thank you for that question there, is how I go, I may challenge Lindsay, and you might have to think about it. How I go create what we got at Meadowbrook, as I say, the golden age me call it, Because when we started, those years were the golden years at Meadowbrook to me, from 79 to 86. The year when you were there at school, we won so much trophy, we produced Rhodes Scholars. And everybody come up on the conversation have great memories of Meadowbrook. The love we are talking about, Lindsay. Most people come on and talk about it. It's how we have a package that now and recreate back that feeling.
So my thought about that is, the topic, if I were to write a paper on it, it would be societal transformation through the Institute of Love.
Yeah. But
our institution of love. Because the whole thing is, we want people to realize in Jamaica they need to stop these things have been going on since Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
Yeah. And humans are capable of every extreme, right? And so, basically there's the Buddha religion, there's this, that, whatever. You don't have to be strenuous with it. It's just simple, Like I say, Einstein said simple but not simpler.
But you never
the whole idea is, how do you consider your neighbor? You consider the person you're dealing with.
But let me ask you something, Lindsay. You never wonder how come and you Desi? Only they made a book in all this time. I made a book. I don't remember the fight they made a book with me, did they? I don't remember.
Don't recall any kind of big
right. I mean, I said, what was so special about the school at the time? But it's not just fun alone. It's like everybody at the school is like, I'm not going to say man have argument and quarrel and vibes and everything, but it never take to a level where it Meadowbrook, as there's a right to say, Lindsay, was the Institute of Love in the 80s, when we were there, It was exactly what I try to recreate, Lindsay.
Yeah, I feel like it.
Right, right. And yeah, cause that's one reason why I have got that. When I started,
but one of my thoughts is that the outpouring of this. In religion they have this thing where Prince, where every so often you have a preacher that come through, and then people realize shit, I better get my act together.
Yeah.
And it changed American society because of them. We're not trying to be a preacher.
No.
All we're doing is we're saying, look, we need to espouse a decency, a humanity in a way that allows people to feel safe in their communities, in Jamaica, in other places. And we can actually put students on research projects on this. We're not demonizing any culture. We're not demonizing any. We're saying the people who have had contributions to the furtherance of humanity that are not necessarily acknowledged.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Lindsay, how do we craft that as a curriculum that we can teach at Meadowbrook? Right.
That's really what I get to, Lindsay. Like, we're going to do that in a sense.
I can put up some other pointers of that really fast. I mean, I can whip that off like even today. But
yeah, man. So do that, Lindsay. Put that together, and then
do kind of a draft.
Yeah, man. Do something, and then
But I think it also needs to be also a university course as well.
No, but what start to Meadowbrook? What focus on Meadowbrook?
We have access to Meadowbrook and can probably push and practice.
We can start at Meadowbrook, Lindsay. What's that?
Because the thing is, even just at Meadowbrook, the kids realize, wait a second, I'm having this home problem, right? Problem at home, problem with neighbor or whatever. Here are some tools.
Right. No, exactly. No, I understand exactly what I say.
Some of it might be economic. Some of it might be
exactly.
Right? But it's for the betterment and the amendment of the human.
And I don't think we're saying nothing different in Lindsay. I think the only thing we're saying is that we say, we could start at Meadowbrook. That's all we're saying. Because we can pilot this at Meadowbrook. We have influence at Meadowbrook. We know we get at Meadowbrook, And it's almost like, we want to say, how can we recreate a vibe or whatever Meadowbrook?
Right. I mean, you never know what a student is going through.
No, exactly, Lindsay, exactly. So I would say,
here it is that you're telling us about Mr. Lawson, and I listened to the you mentioned Eastern, because I listened to that podcast with Eastern and Dave and
Sarah Blair,
right? Mm-hmm. And Eastern spoke about Miss McLennan decided to just teach him
alone Spanish.
Because he wanted to do further Spanish, and they could not. The school was not going to pay for just a teacher to teach one student. So she said, "I'll do it for myself." You're telling about Mr. Lawson saying, "Look, I'll cover your physics."
Yeah, man. Because what happened, the mother used to send some, money every month and stuff. I think it was late. The timing was running out.
Right. So.
But the thing is, I didn't pay for bio. I qualified for bio, but I didn't pay for it. So I never took the exam.
Right.
For bio. So I mean, I could have done another medicine.
There are so many examples over the years.
Yeah, that's love.
People that was going through, that was help. The help was rendered to the school, to staff, personal commitment.
Yeah.
Not just like monies that was garnered.
Hey, which teacher these days do that for students? I'm sure it's kind of few and far between. And people just seem to get meaner and meaner as time goes by.
maybe,
right. So exactly, that's what we're saying now. How do we recreate that? How do we
that? Yeah, right, Lindsay. Right.
Actually, over here, I have actually done so well with that because I actually fund my students. I hire them, give them jobs that are unbelievable in terms of like we just hate the students have benefit.
Put that way, Lindsay. How does you visualize? How me visualize it is like, how can we do that for Meadowbrook? Where Meadowbrook become the school a man want go. Because I know if him come to Meadowbrook, him know say him go through the Institute of Love. Him know him get help and support from a vibrant and a robust old student association. Because we did if I say
it's wonderful because it's aligned with let your light so shine.
Yeah, man, no, right.
Light is love.
The point is, Lindsay, don't exist yet, we just talk about it, and this basically just like the foundation I try to put in place. Everything starts with an idea, And you come on this conversation today, I never know what
so tell you what, maybe just keep it between us now and then we're gonna brand
No, right, definitely. That's the whole thing. That's the whole. But let me ask you some more questions.
But the thing is, my thought about this is it's just a change of dynamic of thinking.
Yeah.
It's what we call a singularity. They said AI is a singularity.
Yeah. No, right.
So it's a singularity where we realize that, one of the things when America was founded, the founders, they went all over the world and they stayed with some Europeans. They examined their system. They literally studied the whole world history before they came up with the American Constitution. I mean, don't make no mistake about it. That's exactly what it didn't happen randomly.
Right.
That's it. We don't want any stupid war. We don't want any more king. We don't want it. And they just check off all those things and say, look, we'll have a free democracy. And that's how that came about,
Yeah, man. Yeah.
The whole idea is, I think the singularity of love need to exist.
Yeah, man. But I just said, I could take it behind the paywall, as I say, and just, we talk about it because we can't talk about all that kind of things we want in the public. We have to put it in place first, and then we talk about it publicly, right? So we talk about it. But let me ask you something. Let me ask you another question, Lindsay, because believe it or not, and Desi have to leave. I think Desi have a 1 o'clock appointment, if my memory right. Right, Desi?
Our 1:30.
1:30, good. All right, good. I just want to make sure I pay attention to your time. But because we're not on a limit. But the question, Lindsay, is you talk about the school challenge. You remember the school challenge?
Yeah.
Talk about remember the school challenge.
Yeah, man. So school challenge is a lot of fun with Easton and vice captain. I was the vice captain, and so we did a lot of sessions of trying to recall the mass of everything you could and some atomic physics was a huge part of the school challenge. So the mass of the neutron, the electron, the charges, the periodic table, memorizing that to the greatest extent. Memorizing facts and figures and places and people, geography, and so I just really had a lot of fun with that and fun moments, and so basically I guess once we were ready, we did the JVC thing, and I mean we didn't win our match, but it was quite an experience. But I remember
it was live or it was recorded.
I don't feel like it was live or something. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Just remember, was a long time BBC guy, JBC guy. I forget.
JBC, yeah.
No. What's his name again?
Dennis Hall, man. Dennis Hall was the moderator.
Yeah, fixed on JBC.
Yeah, because my father used to work at JBC, so I'm.
Oh.
Yeah, my mom worked at JBC during the time I was at Meadowbrook. So yeah. I used to go back to JBC very often. Yeah, I got pick him up on all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we put up a challenge, but I mean our school challenge says I don't know if we still have the team, but I mean I'd like to support them.
Yeah, man. You can't spoke about that in our conversation, man. That's the
really? Thing. Yeah, it's fun. It's so much fun. I mean, just being.
Do you remember which school you guys were competing against?
I think it's one of those jacketed schools. It might be JC, Jamaica College. Like those guys wearing these jackets and tie.
Look formal. Only just in a white shirt. Yeah.
mean, we could have beat them, but
Yeah, but them have only more history than
I
we.
never understand nothing, so you lose.
Them have only more history than we.
You know what? If we can get the team, that would be good.
No, Desi, they talked about that earlier. Some of them tapes might not be around because talk about that, Desi, where you tell me earlier before.
JBC archive. They're smart.
Right. So years ago, there's a poet that I'm a good friend with that went to JIS, that used to be API, Agents for Public Information, I think then, and was trying to get some footage from Miss Lou, some footage of me. I was told that those tapes were recorded over.
Oh man!
Because the lack of funding to buy new tapes, and so they could just have tapes put there in archives and keep recording over them. So I don't know what's the situation at JBC, which I guess would have had more funding,
that's possible. So that's the same thing would happen, because
possible
because with the limited resources, it's like
somebody else could have it. You might have to put out like a call for it because people record stuff, sometimes.
Yeah, personally, yeah. But let me ask you another question, Lindsay, because you mentioned and you talked about it earlier. It's like you remember your walk come to school at Wally, and you talk about either you had a bad shoe or a one shoe. Why that stand out to you?
No, because I just remember just having to stitch up the back of it, every time. It burned my foot because it was, it wasn't the right size. But at the time, I think I don't know, I could probably afford another shoe, or I don't know what was going on.
So hold on. So when Stitcher sing the song, "Young Girl Wear Your Size," I know you that sing about.
Oh, Stitcher. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I said it wasn't right. So,
I think you tell Stitcher, Yellow Man and all them.
Yeah. So, but let me ask you a serious question. What they say? Even though you came to Meadowbrook and it's like you never feel like say boy, nobody never make you feel that way. Say I want grand pair of shoes there. You never felt that way there.
No, not at all. It's I don't know. Whatever the time was kind of difficult for me then, but once we get to school, everything all right.
Nobody never make you feel out of place at all.
Oh no, not at all, never.
Good.
But I just remember that shoes because it was tight. That's all. Nothing too much about it. It was tight. I walk a certain distance. There's some really miraculous things that happen in my life.
And you talk about the mango tree, them, Lindsay.
Oh, yeah, man. God of mercy, man. The mango. I tell you, say, when Julian, I mean, you'll never really find, Julian,
East Indian
mango. Yeah. And boy, Christopher Mayer. And in fact, I wish I could get a hold of Chris.
I have, that's the name I haven't heard in a long time.
You remember him?
I remember him very well.
So Chris and his mom, they lived, I think,
I remember that we went to his house a couple of times. We used to go to his house.
Oh, did he come to?
Yeah, a couple of times.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it was like, it wasn't just...
When you used to live? When you used to live?
It's like, in between, so yeah, Marley, then, I think it's then, and Red Hills. Red Hills.
Close to Purity side.
Yeah.
Valentine Garden attack. Valentine Garden.
Yeah. Valentine Garden. I think so. Yeah. Red Hills Mall. So you go down the street from the mall, and at the time, and you get there, and boy, they have the nicest property with mango tree like you would not believe. I mean, just natural. I mean, oh my. Mm-hmm. So it's like that was a natural place to stop for everybody because Maurice lived along Red Hills Road off to the left, and so it was easy for him to get home and to also get there, and so me, I would trek on there and then I would end up in Marvelly. And so basically, we met there a couple of times and I think Desi was there one or two times. But
yeah, because we were probably in first farm at the time because we were all in one jet together. Yeah.
I tell you, man, the mango them was so good. But basically while we were there, we got into music, which is part of the love. And so basically, with the music, the guy, I think Prince at that time, but Michael Jackson more than anything. But the Eye of the Tiger is kind of, and that song just kind of stick with me. I used to purposely remember that song. And we used to sing it.
That song again. And what the song? We sing that song again.
I think the Eye of the Tiger. Is that somebody you know?
That was part of the movies, one a
I was
Rocky
looking up the other
movie.
day. At first,
It was
Yeah.
part of the movie, a theme song for one a Rocky movie. Yes.
Right. But Eye of the Tiger.
Survivor.
I was thinking it's Survivor, the group Survivor.
Survivor, yeah. But it was part of the Rocky movie, though.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rod Stewart was also a big favorite as well. But the Eye of the Tiger is the song that I actually say. I don't want to say it here, but it's the Eye of the Tiger. They have it like
yeah, man,
they have a nice build up, and it is very important to me in the sense of survival, right? I mean, you said the survivor, and every time you get knocked down, you have to rise up for a man or anybody, woman, whatever. I mean, it's like it's just the thrill of engaging in life and to basically achieve what you can and basically demand what's yours, what you qualify for or entitled to.
Yeah.
So Lindsay,
I know
Chris finished for fifth form.
Chris, I think Chris went to the Air Force, didn't finish up. I think he finished. Okay. I think there were some I don't know, maybe some issues some family, whole family stuff, whatever.
Okay.
But I think him finish, I'm pretty sure him finish, and I think he joined the Air Force. But I think I've tried to find him. I think I located him once, but I haven't been able to. But his name was.
I'm taking notes of the name them for you, Lindsay. I'll try to find some other people. I'll reach out to some of the people who I know.
Chris
Mayer and Maurice White, and I'm making a note of them. And me and you will talk afterwards, so we go in night because I definitely have to talk to you about my book where I want to get published and other things. And you're the right man for me. Right man at the right timing. So, but let me ask you a question, Lindsay. What the most embarrassing moment you can remember a Meadowbrook you can look back on with a smile?
I remember here. Not too many that I'm aware of. Let's see. That's a good one. I don't know. Well, one, showing up 10-year old and not knowing anybody, and then having to make friends. At first I felt isolated, and then once I started talking to people, everything started flowing. Well, running and touching the wall, and being a quarry, and I'm coming back. I'm just giving up, and I'm coming dead last. So the fastest one to touch the wall. So I'm the first one, and then coming back. So I think those, that one would probably be. But I didn't feel too embarrassed about it. Still, I was kind of I can't remember if I tired coming back or I did it on purpose because I just don't want them the notoriety of being like, I'm the fastest one. But I was the fastest one to touch the wall.
First one for the wall, yeah.
But coming back, me just make them run go on. But I think I was tired, to be truthful about it.
And for the record, Lindsay, you're not related to that. You're not related to that famous Quarrie family.
Yeah, man, I related to him. In fact, I deal with him is in Glendale.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we've actually, I've talked to him over the phone and asked him what it was like. I was supposed to meet up with him, but he was too busy in board meetings with his wife.
Okay. Yeah, I'm living in California.
From the East Coast to do some stuff for Raytheon, Hughes Aircraft Company in LA.
Yeah.
To him, and he lived in Glendale, and I think he's coaching the U.S. women's team to help out with that, for athletics and so for track and field.
Yeah, man. For the record,
my dad probably know him a lot more than.
Okay.
Probably, my dad knew him a lot more, but I've actually spoken to him and asked him what that was like, and
for the record, Lindsay, I have to tell the people who probably don't know that we're talking about the great Donald Quarrie, 200-meter, 1976 Olympic champion.
Gold medal winner.
Yeah, gold medal winner, right.
And silver in the 100
meter. And second in the 100 meter, silver in the 100 meter. I could never forget
that. Beat them all up in Montreal.
Montreal, right. Never forget that. My sister went to that Olympics live. And them time when on the TV I watch it, while I will listen you Cross Killer,
Right.
Carl the Race. You remember this? I don't know if you
No, that's the first Olympics I actually remember. The first one I watched was 80, but you know the 76 was
I
huge.
radio, listen, man, and
Yeah.
you felt so proud for knowing some boy Jamaican
What do you?
beat up the world.
And then
You know, I mean,
and
there
then
were
songs came out. A whole bunch of songs came out after that. So
oh
it
yeah,
just
Quarrie beat them all up in
Where
the
was the boy to Iron Man last night?
like liters and millimeters, they were switching.
Yeah.
And
yes.
they twined that into the song. So they have some schools, Quarrie Secondary and
Yeah,
some
that
other.
Quarrie Secondary over I went there over east, I think it there somewhere.
Over east.
Yeah, over Harborview, I think it there, yeah.
And you know the funniest thing about it, and I actually thought about this recently. He's the only person that I can think of that actually got a school name after him in his prime.
Yeah.
Oh, while he's still alive. Yeah,
while he run, yeah.
Yeah, because right after that, the school was named after him, and there's nobody else that has a school name.
I'll tell you what, there's people just to pay dues. There's a lot of people before him that did extremely well too. And then, Usain Bolt recently that, I'm surprised they haven't named I think Usain Bolt got the out of Jamaica or something like that. Yeah, man, a lot of respect to Usain.
Right. But I mean, when you look at the fact that this happened while Quarrie was still running.
But you know why I think that happened? Because for the significance, Jamaica had not won a gold medal since 1948, When Herb McKinley then won the 4x4.
Oh yeah, Herb McKinley. Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
And that's way before our time. So I think when Quarrie won in 1976 was our first gold medal.
In independent Jamaica.
Yes.
Independent Jamaica.
Yeah. And that would have been some significance. Okay. And second, and it's 100 meter, yeah. Another guy from Trinidad beat him, Easy Crawford. Yeah. So it was, I wasn't surprised that it was a big thing, that it became a national hero in a sense. Not waiting him there, not officially, but yeah, he was,
But he was.
They had an argument recently. Somebody was like, they should make Usain Bolt. There's a big thing going on to make Usain Bolt a national hero. And but then somebody said, wait, national hero? They have to be like 90-year who they don't do nothing. All they do is win a race.
Yeah.
They make what's his name? The French player, the soccer guy. It's like they give him the shop.
Who was Zidane?
The Legionnaire Award.
Who that was? Not
no,
Zidane.
No, the younger guy. The
the one that played Mbappe.
Mbappe.
Somebody said, wait, he was not a Legionnaire. Didn't do this. He was war. But it doesn't have to be that. I mean, a symbol of national pride.
Yeah.
Because Barbados made Rihanna. Barbados made Rihanna a national hero.
Yeah. So I'm all for making Usain Bolt a national hero in that regard.
Yeah.
I mean, because a national hero is somebody who has made a breakthrough.
But let me ask you another question, Lindsay.
Oh, and again, don't forget the Jamaicans that went up to space recently. There are a couple of Jamaicans.
Oh, I saw that.
I mean, those are just achievements, but still,
Yeah. It was. I did see that recently. Yeah. Somebody had sent me the link and said these are Jamaicans going into space, and them they are significant.
Right, and Virgin Galactic, I'm actually a supplier to them, the Virgin Galactic, and met up with them when we started build a spaceport in New Mexico, where they're flying from.
Okay,
so I was
nice.
One. It was so it's still so much fun.
Mm-hmm. But all right, let me ask you another question, Lindsay. You say you remember getting the telegram for to get a job after the Prime Minister. Talk to us out. Them just pluck you out of the air and say them why come work at the Prime. Tell me how that go.
This is kind of one of my inspirations for young people and anybody, even adult. What I did one summer was I just decided to create my resume. Right?
So it's just why you were going at Meadowbrook, Lindsay?
Yeah, man. While I was at Meadowbrook, so I said, "What am I gonna do? I want to have a job or something, right?" So, again, me print a resume. I encourage Dave Robertson, and Dave said, "Lindsay, I don't know how you do it." I was like, "What are you talking about?" But basically, we print a bunch of resume, and we just enter New Kingston. So we enter New Kingston and we go from door to door. in terms of businesses. So we went to the bank, we went to the here, and I think we stopped into where they hire people for the Jamaican government, whatever they hire in
Yeah, the office
authority.
in New Kingston, yes.
Yeah, just hand resume. So out through the city. I mean, I'm very practical like that, you know. So I was like, if you want a job, you gotta go talk to people. Back in those days, I mean, why you send them a letter? How foolish is that? I mean, you can send them a letter and all of that. You can apply, but the better thing to do is just start. So we just show up and say, look, I'm looking for a summer job. Boom, looking for a summer job. Boom, 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 down the street, all over the place. And then before you know it, I got a telegram, the first telegram I ever get. Now, if you remember how telegram works.
Hold on, Lindsay, hold on. You have to tell people what telegram is, because telegram is before text. That's the way I communicate.
Oh yeah. So nowadays they have the telegram channel and stuff.
Yeah, telegram channel, but nowadays they communicate with each other by email or text. Those are the fastest way. Lindsay, that gets a message. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Telegram was faster than an email. Yeah.
It says report for duty to the office of the Prime Minister, Jamaica. I was like, wait a second, I don't know anybody there. I don't know. I'm not involved in politics. I don't know anybody. What's this they want with me? And they give me a date and a time. So we say, all right, let me go anyway. So we go in there. There's this astute August lady that says, well, we have a job for you where we want you to work with us for the summer. I was like, really? I was like, say yes, we want you to work with us for the summer. I was like, sure, I accept. And then we talked about my brethren, Dave Robinson. And I said, I Dave did come true, man, my brethren, not a brethren come true. You can look him up for me. And sure enough, we both got hired at the office of the Prime Minister. And we showed up for work. We had fun the whole summer.
How old were you guys, Lindsay?
I think we probably I can't even remember, but teens for sure. So I guess I started in Meadowbrook when I was 10. So
about 16, 17.
It might have been sixth form,
Yeah, but hold on, Lindsay. You see why I said that's so significant. I didn't realize it,
Fifth or sixth form.
I'm going to tell you why it's significant to me.
Mm-hmm.
If all Meadowbrook sixth former can learn what you just said a while ago, just write resume, and don't mail it off or email it off. Just walk around and drop it off.
By the time I'm done training, picking them out,
you follow me? I said this is about 5 years ago, I said this is before you can't just go up on your computer and type off things, I wonder, Lindsay gets it copy when you could have only per copy. You have to pay only per money for photo. Tell me how that did go to Lindsay. How you do that?
Well, I think them times they never have dot matrix printer or something like that. And I think I just print off whatever. To be honest with you, some of these miraculous things I don't know.
Yeah, print at the school. You do all that at the school.
I think so, or someplace.
Yeah, because the point is, Lindsay, you have access to a computer at home.
Might even be inside a New Kingston, but I had a resume for sure. And I think I encouraged them to have a resume too. And they loved us at the office of the Prime Minister.
So did you guys get to meet the Prime Minister?
No, not at that time. We just basically worked there. We actually, believe it or not, we did accounting there. And we see what everybody get paid. Everybody did. We see. So basically, we do all the deductions. We see so it's like a yellow sheet, right? A yellow sheet. We have the pay, the taxes, and all the deductions. And we used to actually have to fill them in by hand and make sure they're right, and then pass them on to the next person. And so that's what we did the whole summer. It was fun. We see what everybody get paid. And then I think we might have met we also went over to the office of the Governor General nearby there as well. And but no, we just had fun the whole summer. They just loved us there, me and Dave. And then the next year, basically, I got another telegram. I said, look, you're coming back. Actually, no, the next year, the system actually sent me a thing to report for duty at the Port Authority. We're about downtown. We're about near the harbor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So literally, I was a customs officer.
Wow.
You understand? I have some stories to tell about that. I was a customs officer for the summer, and it was a blast. Met some really nice people, saw some behaviors and things. No. Well, what happened is you kind of have to, like I say, observe some things that were kind of interesting. But the people are good people,
Mm-hmm.
and,
Mm-hmm.
very hardworking. It's just a whole process. When you get your bill of lading, how do you get that process? How quickly it gets processed, and why, and certain types of goods. And so I became familiar with the whole container, you know, disposition issue, fees that have to be paid, and so on and so forth. So that was pretty cool. And then got another telegram saying, "Look, this year, come back to after the prime minister." But I don't think they got a telegram. So I think I ended up working there briefly before I came to the U.S.
Just talk about that then. How the transition that took place in terms of say, how come you
So
never got to
yeah,
the
I did it for a short time.
yeah.
So basically, they pulled me back, and I worked. I think I said yes, and then I think I worked for them. But I said, Dave, I think Dave was doing some other stuff at the time, because I think he was doing getting more into flying and stuff. So he was doing a lot of flying, pilot stuff, and I mean, people like Norman Nar, and remember
Yeah,
that guy?
now man talk about him flying thing too. In film
No,
have a podcast. I was saying that one too, yeah.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Norman Nar was kind of known as a leader and thinking that kind of stuff. So I think Dave was doing some stuff too. But yeah, so basically, I just I think after that, I came to U.S. and did the University of Miami, and I mean, I did the UA for a little while first,
So I
and
was gonna
then
ask you if you got into UA and then you
yeah,
transferred.
yeah, yeah. I got into UA, but I got in from but I got in from fifth form. But I think because I think I started at a higher level in UA,
Yeah.
so started at N2 or something like that,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and then switch out to engineering at university, because my mother didn't want us to come up, at the time. So I had my brother's apartment in Kingston, living by myself in is it here and then?
Say brother was
Yeah,
older than you, Lindsay?
come on, yeah, my oldest brother Keith.
Okay. I got you. I got you.
Uh, and he went to Kingston Technical, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
very hardworking dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a guy who don't miss work. Even when he's sick,
Mm-hmm.
he still have that attitude.
Yeah. So when you came up to here and I go to the University of Miami, how you find the school system here as compared to Jamaica?
Well, I think I made a mistake on the hand. The one of my physics professor there, my or curriculum at UA, in physics. They wanted to know, what did you guys learn, So he wanted me to one of the book, and then I think I wrote out some paper that I expect to be obsessed with the most natural science, physics, and I think what is there seems to be like jealousy, like that, unfortunately came into a culture of
Mm-hmm.
where people were race jealous, and so, I think one guy went and tell the physics professor, "Oh yeah, him act like him know,
Everything.
him know physics, whatever." So he had a conversation with the professor about me. I was like, "What's that all about? Everybody's here to learn." There was no showing off on my part.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, I was just a new person, maybe foreign, and which our constitution here prohibits, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like I encountered that, but I finished my program in 3 years,
Yeah.
for engineering, and then went on to graduate school at Drexel University in Pennsylvania. Did that, finished that, and had some good Jamaican friends there who were in the program. One guy was a big time power engineer and actually manager right now. I think he retired too. But you're gonna find the theme in America is that we all face some kind of discrimination. It's awful, and but I know where I come from, and I know what is right, and so despite all that, you still persist, right? And you just have to remember your roots, and there's nothing that can, once you teach, and that's why it's important to educate, younger people, of any class, color, or whatever, is that, when people try to put you down, man, you have to rise up. I mean, sometimes you see kids react in a very angry way, right? And it's because some of us adults are putting them down. And, but you have to channel their anger and energy into something that they're good at, right? So if you see them like something like music, go with them on that. Don't force them into something. If they did bad on something, just say, hey, big deal, love you anyway, right? So that's where the love comes in. A lot of people push them kids to be one thing or the other. And, while that's good to try to get some inspiration on that, it's not really necessary, once they become adults. You just want to make sure they're protected. They don't become a public charge, as you call it, and that they can inspire. So, basically, I do a lot of teaching, and I try to encourage. My style of teaching is not to put you down. My style of teaching is to encourage, and as long as you put it out an effort, to my classes, you will succeed.
So,
It may not say, but
so what inspire you more, Lindsay? Teaching or learning?
I think both. To learn, I just gobble it up and process really fast. So, so clearly learning has to come first because you kind of have to learn before you can teach, right? So it's like you have to serve before you can, be the master. So, basically, but I like to meet people. I find it more to where they're at in their situation and to help them find options, right? So I don't teach a dry, dull class. I actually give my students a career package.
Mm.
I mean, I literally in real time will say, look, okay, for the subject matter that I'm teaching, look, you go on Indeed.com, look at how many jobs you have out here possible, right? Like if I'm teaching reliability engineering, I say, look, you know what the need is for reliability engineers? I mean, I'm very extremely practical. I take problems that are happening in real time, like the Samsung phone blowing up, having serious problems in terms of production. And I've actually solved some of those problems for those people, if you can believe it, using my class and making that. So I take real world stuff and make them projects for a lot of my classes,
Mm-hmm.
And so I have people go ahead and do research on different things. And
I'm going to make the introduction for you because I've spoken and I'm going to send him podcast. I don't think a student at Meadowbrook, Garfield Quarrie. I don't know if you know.
oh,
I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Garfield Brooks.
Quarrie.
Brooks.
Quarrie. He works with NASA out of Virginia. I'm going to send him podcast.
Yeah.
You and them need for talk because
There's
both are
another
in the
Gar-
same field.
no, there's another Garfield, I think, that went to UA.
No,
Remember Garfield?
Garfield went to Meadowbrook. I don't think he
Yeah,
went to
tall and
UA.
chubby.
But when I hear him talk, when listen to film story and I know him well, I know him
Mm-hmm.
brother well because my brother and I were in the same class. The brother repeated fifth form. The brother was a year
Oh,
older than me, lesman. So, but I will introduce, I will make them know each other because both are in the same field, both are love learning, and both are actually work for different side. He work for NASA. I don't have a good conversation. Trust me. I will send him podcast for us, Lindsay, and I will let him
yeah,
know it. And I will send
problem.
him number and make you talk to him because I think we need to talk. I still Meadowbrook, man. And then if once you can coordinate now, there's great things Meadowbrook can come out at one having a conversation. That's
Yeah, did you guys get to see the flying saucer video?
I didn't know. I watched it. I did.
Okay.
I sent it to Jelly.
Yeah, man, I did. So tell us about
Yeah.
that. Tell us about that, Lindsay. Tell us about
Yeah,
that.
so that's much more advanced than that. No, so that's old stuff. That's when I met up with Musk that same year, and believe it or not, there's another video related to UFOs that they interviewed me for. After that, I
Yeah.
think that they thought that one of the craft was that they saw up in Albuquerque at night was mine. So they sent back somebody though a week after, and so but I've been interviewed for my own UFO sighting, which is pretty exciting. I'll send you a link on that.
Mm-hmm.
Broad daylight, no funny light at night in the sky, and so you might find that interesting as well. Um, but stuff that changed from globe to diamond. And I ask people at different places to identify it. That's one of the biggest things that's happening now is finding out what's out there. We're part of that in terms of intro.
Lindsay, let me ask you this question since you spoke about the sighting and this is a topical thing. Do you think these are other researchers putting out stuff, military people putting out stuff that because the whole definition of UFO is unidentified, so we don't know what it is, but it doesn't mean it's extraterrestrial, right?
Yeah,
so
what do you think? There's a combination of things, but Lindsay, pure logic tell you that it must exist.
Where really, say, Lindsay, is that a lot of unknown exists, but until you observe it, you don't know it exists.
Exactly. That's one way of looking at it. But the observation creates the existence.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So like, a lot of people say, well, I never see a UFO, so they very much doesn't exist.
Yeah,
so it's a flawed
yeah.
Right? What happened is there's so many things that we haven't seen, right? That we actually step forward to the future and do because we somehow sense that it exists, right? Like the next second, the next moment, right? You can walk out the door and you'll see your front yard, right? I mean, those are things that are established that you have the confidence into the future.
Mm-hmm.
As it's connected in that way. Literally, the future already, either subconsciously or consciously.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you would not make a move to go there.
Yeah.
Or thing that you're gonna do. So, basically, but it's not all of these states that are observable to us immediately. We're in the 3-dimension, but there's dimensions that's higher than that. Like from Biolab, right? You have atoms inside our jar. That's exactly who we are.
Yeah.
The jar is at a higher dimension. And guess what? Above the jar, there exists another higher dimension.
Yeah.
So none of these are theories. We've gone into the 4th dimension already and created things and brought it back to the 3rd dimension. That's already happened in physics and engineering. And so, so as to the existence, and where's God and Jesus right now, right? You think they're gonna? I mean, they must exist in parallel, right? They must exist in parallel to all. And the Bible says, "Tell you see things fuzzy now, but then they become clear after a while." So, we have access to all of it in our mind, but we just don't realize it. Sometimes it just shows up, in one way or the other. But the most amazing thing on earth that we have is our mind. And here's the reason why. You right now, Prince, you can imagine yourself on Mars, right?
Yeah.
Right? Immediately, in an instant.
Yeah.
And then in another instant, imagine yourself on 1 million parsecs away.
Yeah. No, I am.
So that's
I'm fully on board. I went to read something that I saw yesterday. A guy tweet out, and the guy said, "Reality is created by agreement. No reality is permanent. How long you live, how long you can rely on that reality depends on the strength of the consensus behind that agreement." And me say on top of that, create your own reality by building strong consensus.
True.
Good. Yeah. And the thing is that the universe...
Yeah, man, you can create your own reality, man. But you have to actually...
create your own universe.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what people do on social media.
Yeah.
They all say somebody identify, okay, I'm an alien. I want to be treated... Like one kid in England decided that he was a dog, right? And he wanted to be treated as a dog.
Yeah.
Like dogs, so he wanted to be a dog.
Yeah.
This guy in Japan, he decided to spend all kinds of money to become like a dog. And went around because women love dogs, and he just wanted to be loved. So it was just amazing.
Yeah.
But but I mean, that's just a kind of a local example. But the reality is,
you can't create your own reality. At the end of the day, I've always thought that.
People do every day.
Yeah. People do it every day.
People do it every day, and I'm going to be honest with you. The first thing you have to realize, one of the key things you have to realize, is that you don't need consensus.
No, you don't. You don't. In that sense, you don't.
Consensus, you may never get it.
No, you may never get it. But sometimes you need one other person.
Right. But you kind of have to be a trailblazer too.
Yeah, no, right.
Like Musk, he doesn't have to wait for. I mean, anybody who becomes a leader, it's not necessarily always by consensus. You kind of have to put the idea first, and then you can get consensus.
No, I actually agree with this, and this podcast is an example of that, 'cause I didn't go out there for consensus before I started
Right,
this,
right.
I just come up with the idea and say, boy, I'm going to start talk. If a man interested, them come, or a woman interested, them come. And it's a reality now. You follow me? I said this. I understand exactly what you said, Lindsay. I do understand exactly what you're saying. So,
Hey, Lindsay. Sorry, Jelly. Because you've been bringing up Dave Robinson so much.
Oh, Dave, yeah.
It's Dave Robinson or Robertson?
Robertson.
Okay, right, yeah.
Robert. I actually text him to let him know we are doing this. So I said to
all right. All right, that's the link. You know what? You gotta send him the link and can join. I don't have time, but no, that's good stuff. But I wanted to see if I could show you really quick, and I can drop it in the link. On my UFO sighting, and I mean, I have pictures. I did, look at my sighting lasted more like an hour and 20 minutes, and so it's pretty dramatic stuff. And I put it on YouTube as Strange Flying Object, SFO versus UFO. And so I actually did this presentation for, the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics. And it's kind of funny, during COVID, right? We were trying to figure out how do we meet up and how do we do things. So like we're doing now, we did a lot of our stuff virtually, right? So it's kind of funny because at the time, we actually realized that you could actually prevent COVID from getting any further by something we probably all do engineer that our grandmother tell us, which is gargling, right? You guys know about that, gargling?
No. Tell us.
Oh my, I mean, research people after research people, friends, confirmed. In fact, I saw one recently, which is really amazing. That gargling, the whole thing is the virus stays up in your nose a long time before it start moving down. You understand? So when so respiratory disease. And so what ended up happening is, I'll share my screen here. You end up with this. If you're first of all, if you're washing your nose with warm water, that's when you can use a nasal thing. Now you want to apply under that. And so basically, what ended up happening is gargling. You have to enable sharing French.
Yeah, I'm going to do that because I'm not so familiar with Zoom, Tell me over that.
Come on, go down where you see the share screen, and there's a little arrow.
Hold on, share screen. Yeah, okay, let me do that.
A little up arrow, and just do multiple parts.
Yeah, man, all right, I got you. All right, thanks, Lindsay. Yeah, man, go ahead, yeah.
So basically, I created this thing called Family Friendly. This is kind of profile of a company, what we do. So
yeah.
We do all this stuff, and our experts mostly have everything we do. But basically, as you can see, the flying saucer is always in my team. Know. So basically, we build one, by the way, but we want everybody to have it. So this was a family friendly alien encounter. So I did this. Some people recited poetry, some people sang. Some people share their stories from their NASA days, and work they're doing at NASA. So I say, okay, I'm gonna give you guys a public service announcement, because this was the height of COVID time. Right?
Yeah.
So this is the aeronautics and astronautics, and so basically, I don't know, the 7th of February 2008, 61 years after Roswell. Here's another UFO encounter. So this is an actual picture, okay? Broad daylight, not a cloud in the sky. And then this here, if you click the link, maybe I can get it from here. Copy the link. And I'm going to drop this in the chat so you can have it. But basically, the news came down and interviewed me. But they came and interviewed me because of the fact that I was, I brought our flying saucer that we put her down to the spaceport America. So there it is. So you can see, you can get the chat.
Yeah.
So anyway, so they interviewed me, and and then I said, with alien invasion. So I was using this, the pictures are many. So I was telling you, it's going from a globe to a diamond. I look at it every day, like with a telescope from one angle, at another angle, the same thing. Like this thing was at an azimuth of 40 degrees, and then it went to about 90 after 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one who saw it, because somebody about maybe 15 miles away, south, where I saw it, a guy who was actually a fighter pilot, retired, and he said, I saw this thing, and he said, never seen anything like it. So when I went to the MUFON, which is where you report these incidents, he had already reported his.
Yeah.
This one, I just made a public service announcement. And so I said, well, alien invasion, right? So I switched from that to say, well, the coronavirus is another kind of alien, right?
Yeah.
And I tried to do this as a fun public service announcement. My audience was the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics. And so here's one of the papers that tell you about the trial where 380 people did the gargling, right? So what I did is I entreated the audience, right, to gargle. I really liked the first gargle on YouTube, on Zoom. So because when you gargle, you can make some funny sound. So if you want to get your kid to like the idea of gargling,
Yeah.
you could say, okay, all right, let's have a gargling competition. So at the time, it would have been fun, but I didn't want to take it any further. But I started gargle, so I got some water, I started gargle. And then the other members of the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics, they liked the idea. So they understood what I was trying to do. And they started gargle too. So they say, all right, let's do a gargle competition. Because the gargle sounds that I make can be almost digital, almost like a communication signal. So I can vary my pitch and so forth. So it's just fun. And but the moderator said, oh man, I don't want to see you guys gargle anymore. Stop. So he actually cut the feed. I was like, what the hell is this? I mean, people were singing crazy songs and doing their thing. I was like, this is my thing. I'm doing a public service announcement. And then he said, he sent me an email after, oh, I'm sorry. When I was a kid, my brother saw a UFO. So the chairman sent me a private message. I said, me and my brother saw a UFO. And boy, I really would like to cut one open, And so he was like in apology mode because he had cut my feed, with the gargling. People just don't know how to have fun. But the reality of it is, if you gargle, you can gargle with a little bit of salt. You can drop a little bit of salt. You can also put a drop or two of hydrogen peroxide. And that stops anything going down the throat. Even when you have throat issues and you're getting ready to have a cold or something like that, this stuff is just here waiting to go down to the lungs. If you want to stop that and get that out literally the next day, most times, that's all you need to do.
With hydrogen peroxide and salt and water, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, you can just, but don't use a lot of hydrogen peroxide, just like a couple.
Yeah, man, I hear.
And but these guys, they just use water.
Yeah, and gargle.
And then the iodine here would be the salt, so they also use salt.
Yeah.
And then they use care as a control, which is no gargle, right? And so and this was a long time ago. This was 2005 they did this.
But you realize something, Lindsay? Say you want to put the pharmaceutical company out of business.
Nothing out of salt. They'll make money anyway. But about that, no truth about it. So I made a disclaimer because I'm a scientist. I have to say.
Right.
This is just my thing. And actually, I just got another paper just recently published and all over the news that confirmed that again with another.
Yeah. No, I don't know what.
So the thing is, encouraging people gargle, have a gargle competition. It's fun because your wife and kids and stuff. You to get them to gargle, you can just say who can make the best. My gargle sound like My gargle sound like a space alien communication, man. I tell you, it's fun.
I love that.
But the people need to lighten up.
Yeah.
Learn to have fun. Academia is
I like that, Lindsay.
Serious people too serious. I like comedy. I like a little bit of laugh.
Just relax, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to paint one person this or the other.
No, just drop your guard, man, and just have some fun. Yeah.
Just so that was a quick, family-friendly type thing.
PSA, as you say, public service announcement.
Yeah, PSA. And at the time, if I had spiked it and said, let's have an international gargle competition, and then put the papers. There's no scientist who could debunk it. Right?
Refuted. No, right.
Backed up by evidence. And this is not the only paper. But we would just have fun by just having a gargle competition and allow people because the thing is, once the things start going down the throat and in the lungs, it's almost over. At the time before the vaccine came out, I did D3. Even to this day, I do D3. There's Sambucus elderberry, which you go look. There must be sold 100,000 of them. You can buy it on Amazon. Sambucus elderberry. You have the D3 in there as well as the zinc. You just take a couple of those. It's a natural thing, no side effect, just natural plant stuff. And so I did that, and I also did. So I said, you can have it as a D3, but I did. I think those are the main things that I did, and I never to this day have had the COVID virus.
You sure did, yeah.
So I respect people who don't want to take them to prevent it. Or even from spreading it. I understand, their reasons. People have conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're wrong.
No, understood.
So anyway, but when you get a chance offline, you got grab it from the chat.
Yeah, man, that's all right. I saw the link.
Grab it from the chat with me on your desktop. I'll check that out.
I went to that. I went definitely do that. I see it already. I wait for it. Yeah. But let me ask you another question. Lindsay, as you're there, got PSS. I get it from the chat, I just say. And this is a question where I got from Seattle Franklin, where him must ask anybody who come on the conversation, what you think can be done to make Meadowbrook past students want to give back to them school? In other words, what will motivate other students to want to go back to them alma mater? And we're talking about Meadowbrook, I want to give back to Meadowbrook. What we can do?
Well, the thing is, you have to reach out to them, know who they are, for one, and communicate and stay in touch in forums like this. I've given back to Meadowbrook, individual people, to Nadine Moulton and her organization, and I'd like to do that in a bigger way, in the future, and because I realize how important it is. A young minority kid coming up here or there.
Sure, there's a tool for every job, but when it comes to
to the extent that you can teach these values of love and understanding, and we come from a culture of love, and despite all the violence that the average Jamaican, they're not discriminatory, they're not looking to screw anybody over. They're hardworking, poor people, rich people. They believe in the rule of law. You and Desi are good examples of that for, just, playing by the rules in terms of, society. And we're ambitious people as well, and so, we're not different than really anybody else, but, we have a high literacy rate, and a lot of people respect Jamaicans, and a lot of Jamaicans.
But let me ask a question.
Americans that have a very good, traction in American society that contributed over time. And it's not yesterday it started. It's probably like going all the way back to the foundation.
Yeah. But let me ask a question a different way, Lindsay. What would be elevator pitch if you're in an elevator and you book up a man from Meadowbrook and you want him to give back to Meadowbrook? Where do I tell him, say, in 30 seconds?
Yeah, man, just, well, you can do it in a number of different ways, reach out to Meadowbrook if they have a speaking slot, talk about your experience, encourage the kids, suggest a course, show them opportunities, maybe internships, that are possible. Could be even remote internships.
Yeah.
They offer a little something for them, like during the summer. I get a summer job.
Yeah. But definitely.
So, yeah, for us who have matured and gone through our careers and well established, I think the ways you can help, by knowing who need help, and to try to give students challenges. So one of my things is, what kind of practical projects?
Yeah.
I'm very person. So what kind of practical projects, like the Institute of Love, right? Or some communications project.
Yeah.
Some health related project.
Yeah.
I worked for the Food and Drug Administration. I was a medical device regulator.
Yeah.
And it's one of my top research things that I won the engineering lecture. So Desi need to leave.
Yeah,
so
man, I got your message, Desi. I got your message.
Desi, yeah, man, nice talking to you. We'll
all right, Lindsay, we'll keep in touch.
Yeah, man. God bless.
Me and Lindsay, we'll finish this up, and we'll just finish this up, Lindsay, because I have a couple more questions to ask you before. How it make you feel and bring back all these memories after all these years?
Well, it's interesting. It kind of takes you through the thread of your past and, more or less, maybe it allows you a connection to the future, right? So it just examines where you've been. And, just the memory of that and how well you did back then and the people you dealt with, kind of gives you inspiration for the future, even for things you might be going through, right now in terms of your confidence, your self-confidence, right? So it's definitely a good thing, a good vibe, basically. I mean, it's in the past, but it's almost like it was kind of yesterday because, everybody has their life and they're moving forward, family and, career and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't really get to do any reflection. So, but, it's never too late, to do a reflection. And it's very important to do that reflection because it might inspire others.
Yeah, that's how I feel today. Putting these out there is like actually a document.
The youth is so important, and the youth need to have, some kind of idea of what the future can be, rather than crime and drugs and social media and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Become a mentor, right?
Mm-hmm.
A contributor to society, the civil society, to basically add to the opportunity. And, I believe that every person should be able to create opportunity for others. And so, I think if everybody do that, then, you bring up society. And that's the whole world of technology.
Yeah, man. You technology prepared forward in a sense. That's what I really
Yeah. Yeah, the whole world of technology,
Mm-hmm.
every organizational activity.
Yeah.
Allows the world to become a more civil place.
Yeah, definitely.
People settle their disputes and, be consistently productive.
Yeah.
Have a good life,
No, man, I like the sentiment. Let me ask you one question before I ask the last question. Is there any topic or anything where you think I could have bring up? Anything where you want to talk about I didn't bring up at all? The floor is yours. Any topic where you think me leave off? Both your memories and my
well, I know you can't overestimate with all the stuff that you see what's going on in the world, Prince. We need more than a microcosm of solution. And one of the solutions that kind of pervades the entire world is the ability to try to for people to get along and love. And we've done that with Bob Marley, we've done that with our ambassadors in terms of, not just Bob Marley, but others. Our culture, identity, cooking, our motto, and to push that. I mean, I know we have good dancehall music, we have, but I pay attention to the lyrics, right? What are they saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm more interested in the artists who are promoting love, peace, just the ability for people to, I mean, you can sing the blues all you want, right? That's good. So you know what problems people have. But, positive vibes, I love things kind of what's overlooked. But we can't do it in a microcosm. So by setting an example, we're enabling our students to try to understand and get along with each other, but also to find hope. Because where there's love, there's hope. You understand?
Yeah.
So they're wrapped together in one. And so if the love that we give the world through music, to our food, through certain ambassadors, we can promote that, who knows? We might be somebody to come to.
Mm-hmm.
We might be able to set up a forum for even the worst enemies.
Yeah.
Situation, the Israeli situation, I mean, as little Jamaica, right? A man from there, a woman, can be an ambassador because, like Gorbachev says, nobody has a monopoly on knowledge.
No.
Right? When the came down, right? A monopoly on the truth. So I would submit to you that any man or woman who know of what it is to love or to understand where we need to be as human beings can be a a neutral party in a negotiation for peace that would, I mean, listen, the weapons I'm familiar with are unbelievable. I know
Yeah.
what they can. You understand?
Yeah, we can kill ourselves in a second. In seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We see, some of it has happened before. And so we're constantly, a discussion after peace and love has to be the most important thing.
Yeah, man, we'll have a different way to come out of this.
Because I'm telling you, no matter what kind of plan you have, Prince, there are other people with plans, which either directly or indirectly, that are determined to destroy that.
Yeah, man, right.
Understand?
Right.
I mean, meaning that it's just so stupid. I mean, people want economy, people want rule of law, people want to grow their families in peace and to come up with new things to inspire the world, right? I don't see any other purpose of life and to believe in the future.
Yeah,
That's what I want to contribute to.
It's a change the conversation, yeah.
That urgent matter.
It is.
Hey, you could plan to buy a new car next year. You could plan to, go to space next year. You could plan to, no matter what you plan, all of that could come to zero if
other people have plans to destroy it, right.
Yeah, we're lobbing this at each other, to contaminate the world with radiation. Right?
Yeah, man, right.
You understand? Because of their stupidity.
It is that, right? You're right, Lindsay. It is an urgent challenge. We're on the brink.
Urgent.
I agree with you. I actually agree with you, Lindsay.
Within this country. So no matter what you have planned, right? In terms of education, in terms of future, believe me, it's completely threatened now by the, what do you call it? Just the inconsideration of thought.
Yeah, of other people, yeah.
Every party. I mean, look at Jamaica. Why the hell should we have radiation threatening our way of life?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Go to the beach, right?
Yeah.
To actually eat a roast breadfruit in the country. Go drive up into the mountains and get your fried fish and so.
Yeah.
You understand? But that's what I'm saying. That's
yeah.
Because there are crazy people in the world that are on the brink of causing us to go into a situation where instead of trying to de-escalate, it's ramping up. So I'm just letting you know, I mean, and even in this country, the people just, we have to stop, and be logical and reasonable to one another. If we don't do that, we're gonna literally destroy.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I can't see that happening, Lindsay. Trust me. But let me ask you the last question before I ask you.
So that's the need for it. So listen, that's a preamble, and I can write something on that.
Yeah, man, prepare up that, man. Challenge yourself and prepare up that. But let me ask you the last question before I ask you for any closing remark. And you and I have to talk about, for 10-15 minutes, about my project, what I want to talk about. I will set up a new Zoom for that after.
Yeah, man, no problem.
I definitely want, at this month, I started thinking about it and I said, all right. But the last question I ask everybody who come on these conversations, what made Meadowbrook magical?
Well, for me, it's just the opportunity to express myself and be who I am, and also the colleagues there, because we used to have some crazy theories and stuff, and we used to stretch the imagination. So the imagination, the ability to espouse that, and just the competition of knowledge is one of the things that I like at Meadowbrook. That made it magical for me, because when you would try to remember constants, some of the great contributors to science in the world and to solve problems, that made it magical for me. And just participating also with the school times quiz. I mean, I was not held back. I was not inhibited. I was only encouraged by professors. I don't remember a professor or a teacher discouraged. Never.
I tried to tear you down. I just say, yeah.
If it happened, I would have remembered.
Yeah. No. That is so true. I don't remember it either for me, Lindsay. Trust me. The vibe of Meadowbrook did good. So it's good for you that most people I talk to, and I can't say some people don't have bad memories because there's no perfection in anything. But from the people I've spoken to, it's over 100 people I've spoken to already, and it's like most of them had great memories of Meadowbrook.
Yeah, man, it's a net positive.
Yeah,
you
man.
have
Yeah. So, because I'm not going to send you the conversation, and the people, I want to send you Dave Robertson conversation.
I want to hear Dave.
Yeah, man, I want to send you the one for Norman Nar, and anyone of them. But if you go up on the channel, you can pick and choose the one. But those two I will send you. And I will try to get contact for Maurice White and Christopher Muir.
Yeah, man.
Send them to you. But so is there any closing remark you want to say before?
No, I just say, as we go towards the end of the year here in 2023, we should be hopeful and thankful, considering everything we've done through COVID and so many wars, and we just need to push love as the theme for the 2024 going forward, and we collaborate with Bob Marley Foundation, but we don't have to. It could be an independent branded thing where people are considerate to their neighbors and the suffering of their fellow man, in the respect to their livelihood and opportunities for the youth, and to make that kind of a piece, because even in all these war-torn places, Prince, this is exactly the problem. They don't have opportunities.
No.
They don't, and so it's just all about fighting for resources. And so the whole idea is, how do we enable the next generation, the youth, for the future? And it can be a band-aid solution, but it has to be kind of
a sustainable,
transformation that say, look, instead of wasting time on the street, here's something that I can do to improve myself. Here's something that I'm good at. Let's identify that, take that to the next level, and then have sponsors for that. But the thing I want to emphasize going forward is that we have to have love, and without that, I think we're just going to be. Love is the only thing that have allowed our civilization to exist. The whole world.
Definitely.
Whether or not we realize it, the continuity of life and the success requires some amount of fiduciary, respect for the fellow human being. So that's what I'm
closing out. Yeah, man. Thank you, Lindsay. But let me close out the program before. And I'm ready to talk for over 2.5 hours. Believe it or not, Lindsay, it come like a 20 minutes today talk. So anyway, gentlemen, and I've big up Desi.
That's good for me. It's a Saturday morning, and
yeah. Let me big up Desi, because Desmond Gray, who left a little early. Lindsay, Quarrie, the man with the most famous last name in Jamaica in the 1970s. It has been a pleasure and a real blast to have this conversation here this Saturday morning. And as I always close this program, God bless all of us and that great school at 2A Meadowbrook Avenue, where we can have this conversation after 40 years. Like, we're still at the talk shop, as I say, Lindsay, or the Pekka talk same way. Like,
yeah, I really want to go there and kind of relive the experience.
Yeah, man.
Go to the talk shop and sit down and eat a box lunch.
Yeah, man.
I know, I'll have to do it.
Yeah, man. So God bless all of us, Desi, Lindsay, myself, and that great school at 2A Meadowbrook Avenue, where we can have the conversation after all these years. And have a good day. Have a good day, Lindsay.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah,
we
man.
could probably have Meadowbrook Memories at the talk shop.
Yeah, man, yeah.
Let's have a meeting there for everybody you interview.
Yeah.
Have a talk shop lunch.
Yeah, man.
God bless.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
cool.
We'll talk soon.
Yeah, man. I will send you a new link. I could talk about that afterwards. Yeah, man. Right away.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Lindsay. Cool. Thanks. Yeah, man. Cool. So remember to like, share, and subscribe these Meadowbrook Memories podcasts, so neither you nor your friends will miss another Meadowbrook conversation. Thanks. Thanks for listening to Meadowbrook Memories, and remember to give us all the support and encouragement you can on whatever social media platform you are listening. And special thanks to my production manager, Kyle Prince, who takes care of everything involved in getting the podcast out every week. And without him, this podcast would not be possible. It is his expertise that allows me to do what I love doing every week, having great conversations about Meadowbrook Memories, and he's responsible for everything else. So again, thanks to my production manager, Kyle Prince. The views expressed by guests on this podcast are their own and their appearances on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. While we will not add to statements made by a guest, we reserve the right to exclude statements or remarks that might be considered inflammatory. Thank you.